Good evening and welcome to Pershing Park in Santa Barbara for a 4th of July matchup between the Blues and the Foresters. Hello, everybody. I'm Jack Smith. I'm joined by Nate Mills for the entire game here in Santa Barbara. Nate, a tough game yesterday. The Blues and the Foresters was scoreless through 9 innings before the Foresters came across with a 2-0 win in the 10th inning.
Yeah, once again, another pitcher's duel for the Blues. We're seeing, again, it was runs were at a premium, as you say, and we saw that again last night against the Foresters on firework night.
The Foresters' PA system is down, so it's being announced by way of just a very loud voice. But the national anthem is on the way here at Pershing Park, and we're going to let you take a listen.
Welcome back to Pershing Park. Setting up for the second matchup, or the fourth of the year, between the Santa Barbara Foresters and the SLO Blues. And Jack, I really think this is kind of a pivotal point for the SLO Blues. I think if they can walk away with a win in this one, this could be a turning point. But if it heads into another loss, they really got to look at themselves and think about what they got to do going forward. I think as a team, this would be a very important win, especially on 4th of July. It's a beautiful day here in Santa Barbara. Wouldn't want to spend it any other way than with you in the booth. So, crucial game for the SLO Blues in today's matchup.
Yeah, I think you hit that right on the head, Nate. 5-8 are the Blues. They're 5 games back of the first-place Foresters, who are 11-4. And after yesterday's contest, the Blues fell another game. They've lost now 2 in a row in league play. And it was a tough loss yesterday as the pitching was so good for San Luis Obispo, but they couldn't have come away with a win after a scoreless game through 9 innings. The courtesy runner in the 10th for the Foresters. They came across to score 2 runs. The Blues couldn't get on the board in front of a sold-out crowd, a record crowd. 2,466 fans today. Not only will they not have the home crowd to rally behind them, they're on the road playing in Santa Barbara, where, of course, we mentioned it's a little bit of a rivalry here in the CCL, but a completely different environment as the Blues have to go on the road, where they are 2-4 in CCL play. Here are the men that Dean Traynor is sending out to face against the Foresters today. It starts with Jariah Lewis, the center fielder from San Jose State. Jacob Bruley, the second baseman, hitting .286 from CSU Bakersfield, is in the 2 spot. Cody Darcy returns to the lineup. He plays third and bats third. Cam Constantine, the DH from Texas, cleans things up. A .357 hitter to lead the Blues. TJ Adams is in left field. He bats fifth from Arizona. Jacob Galloway, the USC catcher, hits sixth. And then it's Zach Tollerman, the first baseman from Cuesta, in the 7th spot. Matt Massiangelo making his outfield debut for the Blues in right field. Also from CSU Bakersfield, he bats 8th. And Cato Hare, the shortstop from Texas, rounds things out in the 9th spot. On the hill, as you can see here, the right-hander for the Santa Barbara Foresters, it's Justin Feld, 6 foot, 190-pound, or Robert Cran, 6'3", 205-pound right-hand pitcher, heading to Oklahoma State from Wichita State. A 5.14 ERA for Crans in 7 innings pitched so far this year, and 14 strikeouts.
Yeah, you want to talk about good pitching. You're going to get some more of it today. Robert Cran's right now in warm-ups, that breaking ball, that curveball is looking very sharp, and that fastball, one of the better pitches we'll see throughout the whole summer. So some more challenges for the Blues heading their way, and we'll see how they react to the big, tall right-hander.
It's Jariah Lewis to lead things off for the Blues. Lewis, a 192 hitter with 2 runs batted in for the Blues so far this summer. Lewis, Ruley, and Cody Darcy due up.
I think mechanically what's going to be big for the Blues is letting Kranz supply that power. We've talked about their big swings all year over and over, so we'll see if this could be a learning moment for them.
First pitch, and Lewis is behind on the fastball. No balls and 1 strike. Lewis was, I think, took a little bit off of his swing to start this game, trying to just put the ball in play and let, as you mentioned, Kranz supply the power, but an 0-1 count on the left-handed hitting center fielder. Kranz from the windup. Kicks and deals off the well-manicured mound, and Lewis behind on the fastball again, 0-2.
Yeah, we saw batting practice. A lot of the SLO Blues hitters were working on something. Approach round, hit and run, moving guys over, infield back, infield in. They were working on a batting practice, and it looked really good, but 2 fastballs being blown by Lewis so far in this count.
0-2 on the way. Lewis takes a little high, so 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. We talked with Rene Regalado, who's done a huge amount of the hitting coaching for the Blues, and just trying to get the Blues to shorten up, hit situationally, take a little bit out of the swing to make sure that they're putting the ball in play when they need to. 1-2, and Lewis goes down swinging. So that's how this game gets started as Kranz picks up a strikeout. First out here in the first inning at 4:33 p.m.
And Kranz could just be going with that fastball all day. So far, in that at-bat against Lewis, he just went fastball, 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 and just tried to challenge Lewis to hit it. Did not succeed, and we'll see who's going to be the first SLO Blue to actually succeed and do that.
Here's Jacob Ruley, the second baseman from CSU Bakersfield. 286 average, 2 runs batted in. Kranz deals, and Ruley catches a piece but fouls it straight back. 0-1. I talked with the statistics department for the Foresters yesterday, asked him, hey, do you think the best pitcher is? And I ended up asking him, like, if the championship game was today, who would you put out there on the mound? And they said Kranz. They said his fastball is one of the best that they have seen all season.
It makes sense. It jumps out of that arm.
0-1. Ruley takes the fastball on the outside corner, no balls and 2 strikes. Of course, we're sitting here right where you see the camera, right behind home plate on the first base side. So pitches look faster from here, but Kranz is dialing it up. Surely 90 plus.
Oh, for sure.
0-2, he nods. Now he strides and shoots. And Ruley pops it up out of play on the first base line. So it's another strike, still 0-2.
Yeah, 90 plus, and we still haven't seen that curveball yet.
The statistics department, they're in charge of the TrackMan and the StatCast numbers on every pitch, and they said his fastball has tons of arm side run. 0-2. He runs it in there and strikes out Ruley. 2 Ks to start the game for Kranz. He averages 2 an inning, and he's got 2 for the first 2 outs of this ball game.
Yep, and looks like Ruley's going to be the first guy to see that curveball. Very sharp break to it. And, yeah, Jack, if you're going to have a guy throw that hard and he's got some arm side run, it's good luck.
So here's Cody Darcy making his return to the lineup, playing third base today for the Blues. Oh, well, Darcy behind on the fastball, and the Blues just can't catch up to the heat from Kranz here in the first. No balls and 1 strike. It's been a while since we've seen Cody Darcy. Went to Washington, took up a couple vacations, and now he's back in the Blues order, hitting third and behind the count 0-2.
Also working on throwing 80 miles an hour, left-handed.
Left-handed. So Kranz ready, 0-2, as he looks to strike out the side. Searches for his sign. Now he's got it. 0-2. Darcy takes a little low. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Darcy trying to extend the inning for Cam Constantine, the DH from Texas. Another 2-strike offering. And Darcy swings and misses. Kranz strikes out the side in the first, so we had bottom 1, 0-0 on the SLO Blues streaming network. Blues taking the field with Justin Feld leading the team. We welcome you back to baseball here on the SLO Blues streaming network. We're here at Pershing Park in Santa Barbara. It's the Blues and the Foresters, game 2 of this 3-game series. As the Blues struck out in the first inning, all 3 hitters that came up struck out against Crayons. We head to the bottom half of the first. Here's the starting lineup for the Sturs. It's Daniel Patterson, the first baseman from Westmont College, to lead things off. Jake Kendrow bats behind him, the third baseman from Tennessee. It's Max Bellou, the reigning CCL South hitter of the week, in the third spot. Will Rogers, the left fielder from Arizona, hits cleanup. John Newman, the DH from UCSB, hits fifth. Then it's Flores, Garzo Gongora, Nate Voss, and Gianni Horvat to round out the order. On the mound for the Blues, it's Justin Feld, the 6-foot, 190-pound right-hand pitcher from Gonzaga. He's transferring there from Tacoma Community College, where as a freshman he had a 1.31 earned run average across 89 and a third. Feld making his first appearance for the Blues. From the windup, he kicks and deals. And Patterson takes on the outside corner, strike one. So the Blues need to respond after Robert Crayons just shoved it down their throat in the top of the first. 3 strikeouts for the big, tall right-hander from Oklahoma State. Feld delivers, and Patterson.
And Patterson doesn't get a whole lot of this one, but it's just enough to squeak into shallow right. And all of a sudden, the Foresters, they got a base runner aboard.
So Daniel Patterson with the leadoff single. Here's Jake Kendrow, the third baseman from Tennessee. Runner on, nobody out. And for the first time in his Blues career, Justin Feld has to work from the stretch. Pick back to first, and back in there is Daniel Patterson. Patterson is 5 for 7 on stolen base attempts this year. And we saw him the last time we were here, Nate, steal a couple of bags against the Blues. He's got effortless speed for a corner infielder. Jake Kendrow, 200 hitter, 3 runs batted in. As Feld picks again, and again Patterson is back in with a dive. Still waiting for the first pitch to Kendrow.
He's wanting to swing that neon pink bat he's got there.
It's 4th of July, it's not Mother's Day.
Yeah.
It looks sick. He's got the neon orange thumb protector as well. As another pick goes to first, it's in the dirt but scooped out by Tollerman, and still Patterson is back in safe. So 3 straight pickoffs to first, and Kendrow still awaiting the first offering from Feld. Feld comes set from the stretch. He delivers, and a big swing and a miss at the top of the zone, 0-1. They just blew the fastball by Kendrow, and there's 1 strike.
And Feld's been attacking with the fastball so far early on with the first 2 hitters. Still hasn't showed that slider yet.
Again from the stretch, 0-1. He deals, and that breaking ball for the first time is on the heart of the plate. Maybe on that inside corner a little bit. Broke over that inside half. No balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, there's the debut of the slider. Kendrow knew right away I was going to plop in there for a strike. I don't think he was sitting on that.
So now Feld a chance for the first down here in the first inning. Scoreless game, and 0-2 count. The runner at first is Patterson. Feld comes home. Patterson takes off. The pitch is off the outside corner. Galloway's throw is a little high, and Rulli has to jump to make the catch. So Patterson steals second base. It's a 1-2 count, and already a runner in scoring position for the Foresters.
Something the Sturs do. They get a base runner on. They're going to bring the pressure. Patterson taking off for second, successfully stealing a bag, and all of a sudden they got a runner in scoring position for the Volunteer.
6 stolen bases now for Patterson in league play, and now an RBI chance for Kendrow, who's knocked in 3. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Feld looks at the runner at second. Patterson wiggling his fingers. 1-2. And that's popped up foul down the right field line and out of play. It bounces off the tree, Nate, that covers most of foul territory on the right side, and it bounces all the way back to the bathrooms here behind us here on the first base side.
That tree, truly one of the more unique things I've seen in a ballpark, I think.
So still a 1-2 count on Jake Kendrow, the third baseman from Tennessee, with Max Bellou on deck. Another 1-2. And that's lined down the left field line, hooking foul. Off the batting cages, down the left field line. Still 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Kendrow a little out in front on that slider once again. Catches that one off the end. Lucky it didn't break the bat.
Feld, a native of Everett, Washington, went to Tacoma Community College to start things off. And after a great freshman season there, on his way to Gonzaga, here pitching in his first game for the Blues of the summer. A 1-2 count, nobody out. Runner at second here in the first. He looks to second. Patterson gets off, and now the pick goes there. The Blues might have him. Ruley applies the tag, and Patterson somehow back in. Jacob Ruley can't believe it. The Blues thought they had an out on the base paths, but Patterson somehow swam his way back in, and here comes Dean Traynor out of the Blues dugout.
Yeah, that was awfully close. Looked like Patterson went ahead with the swim move, evading the tag with that right arm, moving it over the glove. I think Ruley might have gotten him on that forearm area, on the left forearm.
Dean Traynor is a very vocal manager and strolls out in the hoodie, the gray pants for the Blues, arguing with the base umpire here. They had a good view of the call, but I think Patterson, you're right, may have done enough to swim his way in. Ruley, though, so adamant immediately that, you can't always trust the defenders, but he was so clearly believing that he got Patterson out that it's hard not to side with him. Umpire backs away from Dean Traynor a bit, and the conversation continues to go. Dean Traynor already not happy here in the first, but he's going to retreat back to the dugout for the Blues. So he walks backwards, continues to argue, and now turns his back. He'll head back to the dugout. That's a big call. Would have erased the runner from scoring position.
It makes sense why Dean was out there for such a long time.
So Feld made a great move, made a good throw, but a better slide back into second base by Patterson. He stays there, still a runner in scoring position, nobody out here in the first. Kendro, after waiting, stares out at Feld. Justin Feld looks to second, now brings it home, and Kendro swings and pops it up, back and out of play. The count's still 1-2.
Kendro's have to have been awfully patient this at-bat with that visit with the field umpire there and the pickoffs by Feld to start it off. See if he can stay locked in and have an outcome he wants.
Still 1 ball, 2 strikes. Feld has filled up the strike zone. Maybe a chance to leave the zone here with 2 strikes, only 1 ball. He offers it up, and Kendro flies it foul again. Yes. Kendro is not stopping swinging, that's for sure.
No, he's still out in front on that slider. If he wants to put it in play, he's got to make an adjustment, let it get a little deeper. And if Feld leaves it too much in the zone, I feel like Kendro's going to be ready for that.
Still 1-2. Justin Feld stares for his sign from Jacob Galloway. Sets just above the belt. A look to second. Now he comes home and misses high with a fastball. No swing from Kendro there. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sunny day here at Pershing Park. Fans out in full force here to watch the Foresters on the 4th of July. First inning, 2-2 count. Runner at second. Nobody out. Feld looks back Patterson. Now he picks again and throws it almost into center field. But Jacob Ruley, a nice backhanded pick.
Good dig. Could have saved the 90 right there.
And by the time that Feld threw the ball, Patterson was already back in the second base bag, so an unnecessary throw that almost led to a 90-foot mistake. Still a 2-2 count as Feld stares in. Decked out in the Blues Navy Road uniforms. He comes set. Now he delivers. Kendro swings and laces it straight back. He just will not go down. A battle brewing here in the first. Kendro grabs the pine tar on his neon pink bat. Foresters decked out in the royal blue uniforms, white pinstripe pants, and their 2-hole hitter trying to bring in the first run of this game. Patterson leads off second. Feld looks in. He stares back to second, now brings it home, and Kendro pops it up. It's out of play on the foul left field side, and as Cody Darcy, the third baseman, chases it over, it fully goes out of play. Still 2-2.
Kendro just doing a good job spoiling away pitches, fighting them off, especially that slider. That's another slider that he's just a little out in front of and also just a little under. And once again, Feld's going to have to be careful if he wants to go back in there with that fastball. Kendro's seen a lot of pitches out of him already.
Feld trying to find the put-away pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes, a runner at second. He spins, throws, and Patterson dives back in. Ruley catches it, and he's not even near the bag.
Yeah, making Feld think Patterson is at second base with the tippy taps of the feet and the wiggling of the fingers, making Feld think about him.
Already a stressful inning for the first appearance for Feld, and Kendro pops it up, foul again. Galloway will watch it over the back fencing and out of play. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I go back slider again here if I'm Feld. Kendro just can't seem to let it get deeper. He keeps fouling it off. Not hitting it very well. Could generate some weak contact perhaps here with another slider.
He's gotten Kendro to pop out seemingly a million times now, but they've all been fouling out of play. Still 2-2. Feld looks to second, now comes home. And Kendro looks at the slider outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
It's a great take.
Now a chance for Kendro, who's seen upwards of 10 pitches in this at-bat. Chance for him to walk. 3-2, runner at second, nobody out here in Game 2 between the Foresters and Blues. SLO has Justin Feld on the mound as he looks to second. Kicks and deals. And Kendro takes off the outside corner. It's a walk for the 2-hole hitter and one of the more impressive at-bats you'll see all year.
Great at-bat by Kendro. Devastating for Feld. The first 2 guys he faces reach base. It's now first and second. You're hoping he'd win that battle right there. Seemed to getting Kendro to foul off those sliders, but then it's a misplaced fastball that's just too far out that causes Kendro to walk.
And the pitch count is already being drained, and there's not yet an out here in the first inning. Forced at any base now, though. Runners at first and second, nobody out. Here's Max Ballou, the right fielder from Texas, a .377 hitter with a home run, 8 runs batted in. Feld looks into the lefty, brings it home, and Ballou cracks the first pitch foul and out of play down the third base side. 0-1 the count. Ballou coming off being named the CCL South Hitter of the Week. A 300 hitter at Texas, already a well above 300 hitter this year for the Foresters. 0-1. Feld stares at second, now comes home, and Ballou takes the changeup off the outside corner, 1-1. Ballou, 6'2", 195-pound rising sophomore for the Longhorns, a Texas native. Strong left-handed hitter with a chance to knock in a pair of runs here in the first. One on the way. Patterson takes off for third, a swing and a miss, and Galloway has no throw. A double steal for the Foresters with strike 2. There's now runners at second and third with nobody out.
We talked about, again, applying the pressure. It's a double steal in Patterson and Kendra, and they both reach safely. Ballou with no outs here. He's got to put it in play out of the infield.
Patterson, 2 steals now in the inning. He's up to 7 on the summer. That's the first for Kendro, who trailed right behind him. Feld's 1-2. Is smashed into center. Very high hit as Jariah Lewis comes in, the center fielder. He makes the catch. Tagging up from third is Patterson. The throw will go to third. Patterson scores standing up. It's 1-0 Foresters here in the first on the sac fly by Max Ballou.
And once again, this is more soft contact from Ballou, but this is a shallow pop fly to Lewis. But just not enough as Patterson is standing at home plate for the first score of the game.
So good job on Lewis to make the throw into third. That keeps Kendro at second base. Now runner at second. There's 1 out. 1 run in for the Foresters. Here's Will Rogers, the left fielder from Arizona State. A tough day yesterday for Rogers. Struck out his first 2 times up. Also flew out to right and walked. He was chasing the slider for most of the game. See if that's what Feld starts him with here. With 1 out in the first, he delivers. And Rogers takes the breaking ball outside. 1 ball and no strikes.
Laid off at that time. Obviously, Feld did his homework.
9th run batted in for Max Ballou, the right fielder from Texas. He puts the Foresters on the board here early. So, Nate, we've got a run in the first after we didn't have a run in 9 innings between either team yesterday. 1-0. Rogers lines it straight back, right off the fencing above our heads. 1 ball and 1 strike. Feld, the new blue, has really had to tough things out here in the first. The leadoff single by Patterson, who then stole 2 bases. Kendro worked the long at-bat and the walk. Stole second, and then the sac fly by Ballou put the Foresters on the board. Bottom of the first, 1 out, a 1-1 count as he stares in at Rogers. Feld 3 looks to second. Here's the delivery, and Rogers takes the fastball high and out. 2 balls and 1 strike. Rogers, a .327 hitter, 7 runs batted in this summer. Chance to add number 8. Runner at second is Jake Kendrow with less than 2 outs here in the first. 2 balls, 1 strike. Feld delivers, and Rogers takes the breaking ball. It crossed up Galloway a bit, and it's down in the dirt. 3 balls and 1 strike, and now the USC catcher out to talk with a right-handed arm.
Already a different story tonight for Will Rogers. He laid off that slider in the dirt right there. It was a really good pitch. A lot of horizontal break to it. Ended up in the dirt. Galloway doing a good job smothering it. But Rogers getting that discipline. Going to be tough for Feld to pitch around him. Rogers is a guy who can hit the ball very hard as well. So no challenge here for Feld.
Rogers was blasting balls during batting practice, tattooing it over every part of the fence in left, left center, and center. 3-1 count on a dangerous hitter. Feld sets at the shoulders. Now comes home. Rogers pops it up. On the infield, who's it going to be? Jacob Galloway out to try and make the catch with Rogers in his way. Interference was called, but Galloway makes the catch nonetheless for the second out in the inning.
And the mask stays on, but an out is an out.
Jacob Galloway decked in the navy and almost like maize yellow gear. Blues colors for sure. It looks like a mixture between if he was getting Michigan and the Blues, but he comes from USC where he wears cardinal and gold. Now he's in the blue and gold, and it fits. So with 2 outs, here's John Newman, the DH from UCSB, staying in his school's town to play for the Foresters. 2 outs, a runner at second. Feld trying to work around this first inning. And that pitch is a little off the inside corner. 1 ball and no strikes. Feld in his first start laboring through the first inning. And Newman, the DH, a .182 hitter, 1 run batted in. Feld would love to retire him, keep it just the 1 run for the Sturs. 1-0. Fastball on the outside corner, called strike 1. So that time Feld dialed it up and came away with a strike.
I was going to say, it's also some higher velo too. It's paint on the outside corner.
1-1 the count on the DH. The Gaucho turned Forester, John Newman. Feld comes set, first base side of the rubber. He strides and shoots, and Newman swings and misses. High fastball blown right past the righty's bat. 1-2. Feld striking up a conversation with the middle of the infield. That's where Jake Kendrow runs. He's at second. 2 outs here in the first inning. 1 run already across on the sacrifice fly by Max Ballou that knocked in Daniel Patterson. Feld nods his head, likes the sign that Galloway put down. Comes set. And the 1-2 pitch. That's a liner down the right field line. A screamer, but foul. As the count's still 1-2. Newman just tattooed that one, but I think he was a little bit behind it. Caught the barrel, but also caught foul territory. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And Newman been behind on his fastball in this at bat. Wouldn't be surprised if Feld went right back at it.
Still 1-2. As Feld sets, looks to second. A second look. Now he brings it home. Newman breaks his bat, hits the grounder, past the third base bag and foul. Gloved there by Darcy on the backhand, but the call is a little bit foul, and Newman needs new lumber.
Well, he went back to the slider. Newman was way out in front of that, obviously breaking the lumber.
His teammates bring him a new bat as that one did not die a hero. It died a foul ball. It's almost the worst kind of broken bat.
That's brutal.
Maybe better than getting out because you still have a chance to finish your at-bat.
It is better than that.
So Newman a new stick. Still a 1-2 count here in the first inning. Foresters have already scored 1. A chance for another with Kendrow at second. 2 outs in the frame. Feld sets above the letters. Navy blue, Blues top. He kicks and deals. And a swing and a pop-up foul and out of play as Kendrow, not second, a huge lead, but Feld on the mound is just not being able to blow this fastball by the Foresters hitters, and he's not getting them to chase the slider right now.
But they're putting together some good at-bats, getting a lot of pitches out of Feld, making him work. We're only in the first inning. These Foresters hitters doing a good job fighting in their at-bats.
1-2. Here's the pitch. Newman barely taps it foul off the plate. Still a 1-2 count. Feld, as we mentioned, a 1.31 ERA and 89 and a third innings pitched at Tacoma Community College. Average just under a strikeout an inning. Doesn't have one yet here in the first. Still entrenched in a 1-2 battle with John Newman. Here's the pitch. Newman wraps it down the left field line, foul. This time the bat doesn't break. The count's still 1-2.
The importance of putting together at bats like this as well is you're giving Kranz some rest. A guy who can pump it up there in the low 90s. You know, you don't want to give him an opportunity to recharge, and the Foresters are.
Kranz struck out the Blues 1-2-3 in the first inning. Here a run in the bottom of the first for the Foresters. A 1-2 count on the 5-hole hitter, John Newman. Standing at second is Kendro with a big lead. Feld stares there. A second look. Now he brings it home. Newman takes off the outside corner. 2 balls and 2 strikes on a sliding stop from Jacob Galloway. So now the count 2-2 as Feld continues to work here in the first. A long inning. Game started at 4:30. It's almost 5. The pitch, and Newman takes outside, 3-2. Nate, we were told the Blues only have 4 pitchers present today, and one of them's the starting right fielder, Matt Massiangelo. The Blues are starved for arms, and they really need Feld to go as deep into this game as possible. Already a very difficult first.
And not looking good so far for San Luis Obispo. Well, as much length as you can get out of the Bulldog.
Payoff, and a swing and a miss. So Feld finally strikes out Newman, and that's the final out here in the first inning. Foresters get on the board, though, on the sacrifice fly by Max Ballou. As we head to the second, it's 1-0 on the SLO Blues streaming network. Top of the second, a 1-0 game as the Foresters are on top. Robert Kranz back out after striking out the side in the first as he deals on the inside corner to Cam Constantine. No balls and 1 strike. Constantine threw his head up in disgust. I don't think he thought that pitch was close at all. 0-1 the count on the Texas DH. 357 hitters so far for the Blues with 5 runs batted in. Kranz from the windup. Spots up a fastball, and Constantine pops it up into shallow right. Out goes the second baseman, Horvat. He spots up and makes the catch in front of the right fielder, Ballou. 1 out. So the Blues finally put the ball in play. It's not a strikeout this time, but 4 up, 4 down for Robert Kranz on the hill, and there's 1 away here in the second.
Yeah, Kranz so far just coasting through this game, just making it look easy.
It was anything but easy for Justin Feld in the first inning for the Blues. We don't have the official pitch count. Had to be upwards of 30. As he takes a breaking ball. This is TJ Adams. No balls and 1 strike. 1 run allowed, though, only for Justin Feld. So that's big to keep the Foresters to only the 1 run as they had second and third with nobody out. And that pitch to Adams is in the dirt. 1 ball and 1 strike. Runs were at a premium yesterday, and you figure against the Foresters, that's always going to be the case with their pitching staff. 1-1. Kranz deals from the first base side of the rubber, and Adams takes way high. 2 balls and 1 strike. Two-one offering. Adams lines it straight back and foul. So 2-2 the count on the Arizona left fielder. 200 average for Adams so far this summer with 4 runs batted in. Kranz buries his face in his tan glove. Fiddles around with the baseball. Now comes set and comes home. And Adams strikes out swinging. 4 strikeouts for Kranz to the first 5 batters, and there's 2 away here in the second.
He goes up the ladder on Adams. Saw him foul out that fastball in the last pitch. Went right back to that same spot, but he blows it right by TJ for his 4th strikeout of the day.
Here's Jacob Galloway, the catcher from USC. Just 0 for 3 in league games so far, but Galloway had a pair of hits in the series against the Humboldt Crabs a couple weekends ago. With 2 outs, he swings at the first pitch. He's behind on the fastball, and the count is 0-1.
And Kranz just living up in the zone on that fastball, challenging the SLO Blues hitters to go after it. Haven't succeeded so far.
Kranz steps again from the windup, deals, and Galloway takes a fastball in the outside corner. No balls and 2 strikes. He's just pounding the zone, and the Blues don't have an answer so far. It's their 6th hitter coming up, and Kranz has retired the first 5 with ease. An 0-2 count here on Jacob Galloway. 2 outs in the second as Kranz nods, kicks, and fires. Galloway pops it up out of play. Chasing it is a third baseman, Kendro, but he's got no chance. It's into the parking lot near the tennis courts. Still no balls and 2 strikes. Galloway, the left-handed hitting catcher from USC, back of the box, and now he calls time. Galloway takes a deep breath, steps back on the box. Kranz nods and delivers, and Galloway takes way high. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Nate, you're facing a guy with this much velocity, and you know that the curveball's coming at some point too. What's the approach?
You just have to hunt fastball. Make sure you hit fastball and be ready for that. And don't try to get too big on your cuts as well.
Galloway chases the changeup and apparently fouls it off. He just barely nicked the baseball, and the count's still 1-2. That's a new pitch as well. We haven't seen the changeup yet.
Well, that was the debut today. It was a nasty pitch. Luckily, Galloway was able to get a little piece of it. Stay alive in this AB.
Still 1-2. Kranz kicks and deals. Galloway pops it up, foul again. Heads back, so does the catcher Voss, but it's out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Blues are looking for an answer at catcher. They've got 3 guys they've been throwing out there. Bold, Galloway, and Matt Spear, who's got the last 2 games. Kind of seems to be whoever sticks out is who Dean Trainer's going to go with. Galloway a chance here. 1-2 pitch. And he hits a liner into center. Heading back is the center fielder, Garza Gongora, but he squares up, rolls in, and makes the catch. The Blues go 1-2-3 for a second time as we head to the bottom of the second. It's still 1-0 on the SLO Blues streaming network. We welcome you back to Pershing Park on the SLO Blues streaming network. Here coming up in the second for the Sturs, it's Flores Garza-Gongora against Nate Voss. And Justin Feld stays on the hill, working from the windup. He stares in at Jalen Flores, the shortstop from Texas, and delivers. And Flores takes the fastball high, 1 ball and no strikes.
We get the opportunity here. I think Flores has got probably my favorite swing in this Foresters lineup. It's a really good-looking swing out of the right-handed batter's box.
1-0. Flores swings here and hits a towering fly ball to right. Chasing it towards the line is the right fielder Massiangelo, but he halts as it falls out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike.
It's just so fluid, and the barrel path, very direct. Doesn't mess around, no wasted movement. It's very smooth.
Flores, a 188 hitter, no home runs, no runs batted in. As he swings here, he's behind on the fastball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Feld had a tough first, only gave up the 1 run, but was asked to do a lot. 1 hit, the sacrifice fly knocked in the run, 3 stolen bases for the Foresters in the inning. And nearly every at-bat went to 3-2, and almost every hitter saw 10 pitches. 1-2. The fastball's high, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And like we said, we got 4 pitchers present for San Luis Obispo today, so don't think the Foresters know that, but they're unintentionally doing a great job trying to get to the bullpen as soon as possible. We already got Saldana warming up.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Marcelo Saldana in the pen. And the changeup, or maybe the breaking ball, is a little low. 3 balls and 2 strikes. One of the things that I think we take for granted a little bit about Sinsheimer Stadium and our spot up in the press box is we see everything from a heads-down angle right through the middle. Here on the first base side, it's hard to tell which pitch is what.
We got the tree over there, too.
Feld picking the 3-2. He comes home, and Flores swings and pops it up right back over the center field, or I guess the home plate side of the fencing. Still 3 balls and 2 strikes. Feld fiddles in his glove. Here's another 3-2. And Flores pops it foul again. Count still full. Jalen Flores, tall right-handed hitting shortstop from Texas. Same thing as yesterday's game. 2 Texas shortstops across these 2 teams. It's O'Hara at short now for the Blues, who's also a Longhorn. 3-2. And his counterpart takes strike 3 called. Second strikeout for Feld, the second in a row, and there's 1 out here in the second inning.
And Feld just goes right back to that fastball. Seems to be punching that outer half of the zone on right-handed hitters so far today. He does it again right here with Flores. Catches him looking.
So here's Nate Voss, Rocco Garza-Gongora, the center fielder from Oklahoma. Voss in the hole. Garza-Gongora, 208 hitter, 4 runs batted in as the lefty who played first base yesterday and center field today strides into the box. 0-0. And Garza-Gongora takes a fastball at the top of the zone, 0-1. A lot of SEC or teams that will be in the SEC, Texas and Oklahoma, in this Foresters lineup. As the 0-1, and Garza-Gongora takes the fastball again, 0-2. I mean, you look, Kendro from Tennessee, Bellew from Texas. You've got Flores also from Texas. Oklahoma is Garza-Gongora. And we also saw yesterday Austin Ledbetter from Arkansas. That chopper back to Feld. The underhand flip to Tollerman is in time for the out, and just like that, 2 away.
And that checks out the way that the Foresters offense puts pressure on the base paths and how they put together gritty at-bats. It's no surprise that majority of this lineup comes from the SEC/Big 12.
And the starter, Robert Kranz, heading to pitch at Oklahoma State. So that's a Big 12 spot, not an SEC spot. As here a chopper to second off the bat of Nate Voss. Collecting it there is Rulli. He throws low, but a stretch by Tollerman is in time for the out. Nice response by Justin Feld, who goes 1-2-3 in the second. We're through 2. It's 1-0 on the SLO Blues streaming network. Bottom third of the order, Zach Tollerman, Matt Mastiangelo, and Kate O'Hara due up for the Blues. They've gone 6 up, 6 down against Robert Kranz, the Oklahoma State 6'3" right-hander. And Kranz, who's got 4 strikeouts through the first 2 innings, looks in at the Figueroa Mountain beer batter here at Pershing Park, Zach Tollerman. With nobody out, here's the pitch. Tollerman swings and misses. No balls and 1 strike. And Nate, I'm pretty sure what we heard was if Tollerman strikes out, it's half-price beer for the fans in attendance for the rest of the inning. So Kranz pitching for a K. 0-1. Tollerman swings, and it's a liner to short, right at the shortstop Flores. So the fans are happy about the out, unhappy it's not a K. There's 1 away here in the third as Tollerman roped that ball to short.
And Tollerman only seeing 2 pitches there that got the fans excited on that swing and miss. It was a very big swing. But we're seeing something new out of Tollerman there. It's a little adjustment, shortening up, and punches it, but it's right at Flores for the first out of the inning.
First hard hit ball for the Blues here today. Not happy, I'm sure, with the result, but the process is shaping up a little bit better. Here's Matt Mastiangelo, the right fielder from CSU Bakersfield, who takes outside with a first pitch fastball, 1 ball and no strikes.
And to be the first guy to do it, to be the first guy to hit a ball hard off a guy like Kranz, you got to feel good going to the second at bat, and hopefully it inspires a domino effect into the rest of your lineup.
Kranz works from the windup, 7 up, 7 down, as he deals a little off the outside corner. 2 balls and no strikes to Matt Mastiangelo, a .222 hitter for the Blues so far, with a run batted in. He's also 1 for 2 on stolen bases when he's gotten on.
So if I'm Mastiangelo, I'm going to gear up for that fastball. Kranz is going to try to challenge him with it.
2 out. He does not look like the changeup is a little outside. 3 balls, no strikes. In the modern era of pitching, I feel like there's no such thing as a fastball count anymore, even at the collegiate level.
Yeah, you could see anything. I mean, especially when you're playing at a Power 5 like Kranz is headed towards, or he's in American Conference last year, headed to the Big 12 now.
3-0. Matt Mastiangelo takes high. It's the first base runner for the Blues as the right fielder from CSU Bakersfield draws the walk.
It's a good job by Mastiangelo. He laid off some pitches that the Blues hitters have been swinging at so far in this game, and some that were close, but he'll draw the first base runner for the Blues.
So now, here comes Kate O'Hara. This is going to be Oklahoma State on Texas. But for Matt Mastiangelo, a good at-bat. Not the toughest of takes, but he was patient, and he'll take a walk. The Blues have their first base runner, and now Kranz, for the first time, works from the stretch. He sets a little below the belt and stares in at the Texas shortstop. First pitch is popped back and out of play. No balls and 1 strike. One nothing game here at Pershing Park. We're here on the top of the third. 1 out, 1 runner on. It's Matt Mastiangelo at first. Straight up defense on the infield for the Foresters. Middle infield pinched a little bit to play double play depth. 0-1. O'Hara takes on the outside corner. 0-2 the count. Now O'Hara, a job to do, put the ball in play. Choke up with 2 strikes. Try and work a battle just as the Foresters did in the first inning against Feld. Kranz looks to first, 0-2 on the way, and O'Hara bounces it foul off his own body. The count's still 0-2. O'Hara stares at his bat and now steps into the back of the right-hand batter's box, trying to brace himself for the velocity of Kranz, who so far has 4 strikeouts. We're here in the third. Another 0-2. O'Hara takes way high, 1-2 the count. Setting the sights maybe a little bit to go down below.
Yeah, it could be. Now that he's incorporating that changeup a little more, won't be surprised to see the right-on-right changeup.
9th hitter for the Blues. It's the leadoff hitter, Jariah Lewis, who stands on deck. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Kranz from the stretch kicks and deals, and O'Hara lines it straight back. He got the fastball again and just barely missed it. So still a 1-2 count on the Texas shortstop. O'Hara, an .077 hitter so far for the Blues, trying to get the bat going here in a road contest versus the Foresters. Swing and a fat tap foul back into the glove of Voss. That's the 5th strikeout for Kranz as O'Hara's down on strikes.
And blows the fastball by O'Hara. Strung together a nice at-bat, the Texas Longhorn did. Saw some more pitches. Don't think he saw that changeup, but he saw that fastball slider. But I feel like Blues hitters are getting a little closer contact-wise.
I feel like when they finally do barrel one up, outside of the one Tollerman hit, with the power that Kranz is supplying with the velocity of his fastball, might go a long way. Here's Jariah Lewis, who struck out to start the first, and he takes strike one on the outside corner. Matt Massiangelo leads off first. 1-0 game here in the top of the third. Blues have their first base runner on the walk and trying to bring him in. Pitch to Lewis is a little off the outside corner with the breaker. 1 ball and 1 strike. Jariah Lewis came into this game hitting .192 in league play. 2 runs batted in. And it was 3 fastballs pumped right in there for the strikeout in the first. 1-1. Lewis behind on the fastball yet again. 1-2. So now Lewis, the same job as O'Hara, try and shorten up with 2 strikes. Massiangelo will lead off first. He'll run with a crack of the bat. 2 outs, a 1-2 count on the leadoff hitter from San Jose State. Kranz looks to first, now sets to the belt. He offers it up, and Lewis takes high. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Went back up again with the fastball. Before, in his first at-bat against Lewis, he was just living up in the zone. He's trying to get Lewis to chase on that. A little more offering in the zone so far in this AB.
2 balls, 2 strikes. The offering is outside this time as Lewis has taken a couple close pitches. 3-2 the count.
Yeah, good eyes there by Lewis. Fastball still staying alive by Kranz. It's got to be his best pitch right here.
So Massiangelo will take off from first with a 3-2 count, 2 outs. The first baseman Patterson backs off the bag. He's not even going to hold Massiangelo on. Kranz, the payoff pitch, and Lewis taps it back into the glove of Voss. Another K. 6 strikeouts through 3 for the man who's averaged 2 inning all season. We head to the bottom of the third. It's 1-0. Foresters coming back up 9-1-2 when we return on the SLO Blues streaming network. Bottom of the third, and the Blues are turning to the bullpen. So Justin Feld's first Blues start is done after 2 innings, and it's the lefty Marcelo Saldana who enters this game in a 1-0 Blues deficit.
Saldana entering this game, last time we saw him was his start against the Humboldt Crabs. Went 4 innings, 6 hits, 2 walks and 3 runs with 1 strikeout. Looking to come out and support Feld rolling out of the bullpen here against the Foresters.
9-1-2, starting with Gianni Horvat, and that fastball's at the bottom of the zone, 0-1. Marcelo Saldana in league play has a 0 ERA across 1 2/3. His lone league appearance so far was a save against the Orange County Riptide. 0-1, pitch to Horvat, and Horvat swings and pops it up down the right field line, hooking away from Massiangelo and out of play. So the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Gianni Horvat, the second baseman from UNLV, has a .278 average. He's hit a home run, knocked in 3 so far this summer for the Foresters. Great speed for the middle infielder and a 0-2 count. Saldana kicks and deals, and it's a little high, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Saldana's looking to fill that bullpen role at Cal State Bakersfield, so could be seeing that more of him going further into this Blues season.
He kicks and deals. Horvat takes way high. Chin music. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Great crowd here at Pershing Park. The bleachers don't, the capacity's not super high here, but nearly every spot in the bleachers is filled.
We're fully immersed. We're amongst the crowd here.
2-2. Here it is. Horvat takes a little bit low. A nice frame attempt by Galloway, but a 3-ball, 2-strike count on the 9-hole hitter. Horvat, not a guy you want to let on for free or at all. 12 for 12, a perfect stolen base record so far this summer. 3-2. On the way. Horvat taps it foul, straight back. Still 3-2 the count.
And once again, Foresters being a tough out. Seeing it again here. 6 pitches so far in this at-bat against Saldana.
Feld gave up a run in the first, but then went 1-2-3 in the second. I think that was enough for Dean Traynor, who doesn't want to tax his arm too much in his first start. As another payoff comes, and Horvat bounces on the ground to third. A lot of speed for Horvat. Here's the across-the-diamond throw from Darcy, and it is in time. Nice play by the third baseman from Arkansas State, and there's 1 away here in the third.
It was taking some funky hops going down the third base line over to Darcy, but luckily it catches a nice piece of grass and lands perfectly in Darcy's lap. Makes the throw over to first. Tallman with the nice stretch and scoop.
Here's the top of the order. Daniel Patterson, who singled, stole 2 bags, and scored in the first, the lone run in this game. As first time facing Saldana, the lefty misses a little bit low. 1 ball and no strikes. During batting practice, when we saw the Blues taking infield, they had Cody Darcy, Jason Hansen taking grounders at third, and the hops were unbelievable. Nothing was straight as Patterson pops that one up, 1-1. And there was a stretch of about 3 in a row where Jason Hansen, the ball would come up on him, and then it would stay down on him, and then it would bounce to the left. And he was just looking like he had enough. And funny enough, the person who was hitting those ground balls was Marcelo Saldana. And he really relishes the opportunity to be the fungo hitter for the Blues in pregame. 1-1. And Patterson takes that fastball in the outside corner.
Yeah, that's a pitcher thing. Pitchers love volunteering, doing the fungo. Saldana fits that mold. Anything to contribute to the team and help make the guys better.
I think he just has fun doing it, too. It looks fun.
That's an added plus, too. Yeah, it's very fun.
1-2. Patterson hits a liner into the left center field gap. It falls for a base hit. Chasing it to the wall is the left fielder Adams. He picks it up. Patterson on his way to second. He's in there with his second hit. A 1-out double.
Yeah, this double's the first hard hit of the day for the Santa Barbara Foresters. Placed perfectly into the left center gap. Looks like Adams and Lewis had some miscommunication on who was going to scoop that up and get it in. And that allowed Patterson to stroll into second base easily. But this is just another fastball. This is Saldana leaving it too much in the zone. Patterson puts a nice swing on it. They got another runner in scoring position now.
Now we've seen singles, doubles, triples, homers, even a grand slam this summer. I think the best at-bat that I have seen from any hitter, Blues or non-blue, came from Jake Kendrow in the first. He saw 14 pitches and walked. He fouled off nearly everything in sight as he swings here. The first pitch, taps it foul again. Fitting for the third baseman from Tennessee, an 0-1 count. But that was a big walk that he drew, and eventually he was stranded at second in the inning, but he taxed almost half the first inning's pitch count on Justin Feld. 0-1. Marcelo Saldana works with a runner at second. That's Patterson, who scored the run in the first. Big leadoff second for the first baseman from Westmont, and Kendrow takes a little bit low, 1 ball and 1 strike. Wind picking up a little bit here in Santa Barbara, making it feel a little chillier. 4th of July, Blues and Foresters right on the water, basically. 1-1 the count on the third baseman, the Tennessee Volunteer. Saldana delivers, and Kendro takes that fastball for a strike. He nods his head, 1-2. Saldana stares in at Galloway. A chance to strike out Kendro here. A 1-2 count. Patterson with his leadoff second. We saw him steal third before. He might try and do it again. So he grabs his lead. Saldana looks back there. Now he brings it home. Kendro takes high. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Saldana really living with that fastball in this at-bat. Kendro's seen 4 so far.
So now an even 2-2 count as the wind continues to pick up. 2-2 offering. Kendro swings and misses, strike 3. Saldana with his first K out of the pen, and now there's 2 outs in the third.
Yeah, he goes up in the zone. Kendro goes after it. Not in time, just a little early on the fastball for strike 3. He swings right through it.
And he did what Justin Fell just couldn't do in the first inning, and in a 2-strike count, he put one by Kendro, who wasn't able to foul this one off. And there's 2 outs now in the inning. The batter is Max Ballou, who has the only RBI in this game as he had a sacrifice fly to right field. No balls, no strikes, left on left. And Ballou takes a breaking ball on the inside corner. No balls and 1 strike.
And that curveball's looking good out of the hand of Saldana. He can get a hold of those 2 pitches, the fastball and the curveball, and he can get some length coming out of the bullpen. It's a good sign for the Blues.
0-1. Ballou takes the curveball for strike 2. So back-to-back breakers. And now a 2-strike count for Saldana, who can escape this inning and strand the 1-out double.
Yeah, this would be a really nice strikeout here for Saldana. The reigning CCL South hitter of the week. Runner on second base.
Not an easy draw, but he's ahead in the count. A chance maybe now to leave the zone. No balls, 2 strikes on the right fielder from Texas. Here's the pitch. And Ballou takes low. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Tried to get him to go after that fastball in the dirt, low and away. But Ballou does a good job laying off.
Saldana comes set. Glove held now with the belt. He looks to second, kicks and fires, and Ballou takes strike 3 call. 2 strikeouts in the first inning for Saldana, who nods as he walks off the mound. Gives a fist bump to Galloway. That's the final out here in the third. We're a third of the way through this ball game. It's still 1-0 Foresters. And when we come back, it'll be 2-3-4 for the Blues on the SLO Blues streaming network. Jacob Rulli to lead things off for the Blues here in the fourth. It's 2-3-4 Rulli, Darcy, Constantine against Robert Kranz, who has struck out 6 across his first 3 innings. And he's held the Blues in check. Just 1 base runner on the walk to Massiangelo. And Rulli takes a backed-up breaking ball off the inside corner, 1 ball and no strikes.
That's the first time we've seen that today. The first pitch breaker out of Kranz. Usually he'll go strike 1 with the fastball, but for the first time today, it's the breaker for ball 1.
1-0 on the way to Rulli, who struck out, and he bounces this one to short. In comes the shortstop, Flores. A tough play. He throws high, and a nice glove by Patterson there for the first out of the inning.
Good 90 by Rulli, but not much he can do there. It's a grounder off the breaking ball once again. Not hit well, right to Flores, who comes in, makes a scoop in the out over at first.
4th of July, the 4th Blues game of July, and they'll play 25 total games in the month. This is the 4th against the Foresters this year. Luckily for the Blues, they only have to play Santa Barbara 7 times, so not all the games in July will be against the Foresters, as another breaking ball is on the inside corner, 0-1. But game 2 of a 3-game series, and the Foresters a chance to win the first 2 games to take the series against the Blues. As Cody Darcy, I don't know if he was behind or ahead on the breaking ball. I think he was just off it. No balls and 2 strikes.
Looked to be ahead. Saw his head pull away, looking away from the ball. It's hard to hit when you can't see.
0-2. Darcy gets another breaker. Fouled it off. No balls and 2 strikes. So 5 straight, I don't know if it's a slider or the curve ball, but 5 straight breaking balls to start the inning.
Yeah, it's something, switching up that approach. Trying to mess up the hitters as much as he can.
0-2 the count. As Kranz from the windup kicks and deals. And Darcy checks his swing. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And that's a good leave by Darcy. That's a pitch, that fastball up in the zone that's been getting the Blues hitters to chase today. And Darcy's showing some signs of improvement from the offense, laying off of it.
1-2. Darcy hits a liner down in left field. It falls in front of the left fielder Rogers for a base hit. Darcy catches it off the end of the bat, but he ends up with the first Blues hit of the day. There's a runner at first with 1 out.
And some more soft contact, but that's all he needs to collect the Blues' first hit. Hopefully a spark plug for the offense. And Constantine, who was the first Blue to put the ball in play back in the second.
So Darcy back in the lineup for the first time in a while. Picks up his first hit in a while. And now the third baseman from Arkansas State is aboard. Here's Cam Constantine, the DH from Texas, who popped out to start the second inning. Kranz from the stretch. Darcy on the move. A swing and a miss. Throw down from Voss is in time. A little low, but Darcy with an, I don't know what that was, but a very slow slide, and he's tagged out.
And that dirt just kind of slowed him down. I think he thought he was going to glide more in the dirt than he did. It must be a little wet out there. He just stopped right in front of second base, and they just slapped on the tag.
He beat that throw by a mile, but his slide, it was the slowest part of the entire run. And now a 1-1 count on Constantine. The base runner immediately erased as Darcy maybe a little bit unlucky with the state of the dirt out by second.
And that one hurts for the Blues.
1-1. Constantine now bounces this one foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
You think you can get something going, and you know, it's exciting getting a stolen base like that. Lights up the dugout, lights up the guy in the box, but unfortunately must have been some wet dirt out there.
1-2 the count. Kranz kicks and deals. Constantine takes way high, 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Kranz working again from the windup. A 2-2 count on the Texas DH as Kranz looks to finish the 4th. He delivers. Constantine chases high and strikes out swinging. That's the 7th strikeout for Kranz. He gives up the hit, but then Darcy can't steal second. A 1-2-3 frame as we head to the bottom of the 4th. It's 1-0 on the SLO Blues streaming network. Bottom of the fourth, still a 1-0 game. And in the middle of the order coming right back up, it's Max Ballou, Will Rogers, John Newman, Jalen Flores due up here in the inning. Marcelo Saldana stays back out. 1-0 the Foresters lead. Here's Rogers, who popped out to the catcher Galloway his first time up. Saldana a deep breath, kicks and deals, and Rogers hits a liner hooking foul down the left field line. No balls and 1 strike. We've seen that a lot today from these Foresters hitters. They're just out in front of Blues pitching and hooking it down that left field line. Hit hard, but foul ball.
Yeah, it was hit a little better than what the foul balls have been today. Probably don't want to go back to that pitch for Saldana. Rogers seemed to be ready for that one.
0-1 the count, and an 0-1 game. Saldana, the lefty, sets the belt, now delivers, and Rogers chases this one foul down the first base line. No balls and 2 strikes. Saldana came in the third in relief of Justin Feld, gave up a 1-out double to Daniel Patterson, but then struck out back-to-back hitters to end the frame. Here, the lefty from CSU Bakersfield comes set, stares in at Galloway, now kicks and fires, and Rogers takes away in the dirt, all the way to the backstop. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
He looked to go back to that fastball there, challenging the hitters so far in his appearance with the fastball. Tried to throw it as hard as he could. I think he just yanked it right in front of the plate.
Trying to blow it by Rogers, who struck out in his first 2 at-bats yesterday. This time his first time up, hit the pop out. 1 ball, 2 strikes as Saldana nods with his sign. Middle infield playing back with a strong right-handed hitter. Here's the pitch. Rogers hits a liner to short, and the middle infield playing back for a reason. Right at O'Hara, who makes the catch for out number 1.
And here's some more hard contact coming out of the Santa Barbara side. This one's a line out right to O'Hara. Had to take a few steps to his left, but it was hooking. Didn't have to take too many steps. Right into his glove for the first out.
And it's a good thing that O'Hara was playing back, gave him extra time to come in, make the catch on that line drive. And with 1 out, here's John Newman, the DH from UCSB, who takes a little high. 1 ball and no strikes. Newman struck out against Feld to end the first inning. One out here in the fourth. Saldana kicks and fires, and Newman takes. That one's a little high. 2 balls and no strikes. Maybe could have been a strike, but a little off the plate.
I was just going to say, that was a good pitch. I guess it was too far off the plate.
Newman, a 182 hitter with a run batted in coming into this game. The DH from UCSB. 2-0. And Newman bounces it towards third. A diving attempt by Darcy. Same with O'Hara, but it gets into left field by both the Blues infielders. A single for Newman, and there's a runner at first with 1 out here in the fourth.
Yeah, that's a tough play. We were just talking about how the ball bounces here on the infield grass and even on the dirt here at Pershing Park. And that's a tough play for Darcy and O'Hara, both converging on the ball, and it just splits the gap between both of them perfectly.
That's the third hit for the Foresters. Second one allowed here by Marcelo Saldana. The batter now, Jalen Flores, who struck out looking to start the second inning against Feld. Shortstop from Texas steps into the right-hand batter's box as Saldana works from the stretch, looks back, Newman at first. And with a middle infield double play depth, he strides and shoots. Flores takes way outside. A snare attempt to catch it by Galloway. He keeps it in front. 1 ball and no strikes.
Flores also one of the contributors in getting Feld out of the game. Working together an 8-pitch at bat last time. Was a strikeout, but saw lots of pitches.
1 ball, no strikes. As Saldana looks to Newman at first, brings it home, and Flores pops it up straight back and foul over the head of catcher Galloway over the home plate fencing. 1 ball and 1 strike. Those high pop-ups, I have no idea where they're going to go.
Because straight up.
We're right here at field level. What are we, 10, 15 yards away from home plate? And so I just completely lose it in the sky. You're going to have to be my eyes on those pop-ups as the pick back goes to first, and back in there is Newman. 1 ball, 1 strike on Jalen Flores, the shortstop from Texas, getting the start at short for the second straight game for the Foresters. Played a nice defensive shortstop yesterday. After making a couple errors early, he really settled down and took a couple hits away from the Blues. 1-1. Here he takes in the dirt. 2 balls and 1 strike. Flores hit 175 across 45 games, 29 starts at Texas this past year. 18 hits and 103 at-bats. 4 of them, though, homers. Knocked in 23 runs. 2-1. And Flores hits a liner down the third base line, and it's foul once again.
barely foul. And once again, like we're saying, out in front. Another hooking line drive that ends up in foul territory.
So now a 2-2 count. Still one out here in the fourth. The runner at first is Newman, who's got to retreat all the way back to the bag. He was around second after that ball dropped and had to make the 90-plus foot jog back to first. He stands there, a 2-2 count, one out here in the fourth. Saldana with a deep breath on the hill, looks to first, and brings it home. Flores hits a line drive to center right at Lewis, who has to come in and make a waist-high catch for the second out here in the fourth.
And some more. The contact is getting stronger and stronger coming out of Santa Barbara, but luckily for the Blues, this goes right into Jariah Lewis's glove for out number 2.
Here's Rocco Garza-Gongora, the left-handed hitting center fielder from Oklahoma. Grounded out right back to Fell, the pitcher, for the second out in the second, his last time up. Hitting just around 200 with 4 runs batted in. Left-on-left matchup as Saldana kicks and deals. Runner takes off. The throw from Galloway is on the money and not in time. Cato O'Hara applied a quick tag. The ruling is Newman right underneath it. And a stolen base puts the runner in scoring position with 2 outs here in the fourth inning.
And this looked like a good throw from here by Galloway. Got up quickly. This one's on a line right to second base. It's just not enough.
Still unsure what the call on the pitch was. There's no scoreboard here at Pershing Park, so it's hard to tell. It looked like it was a little high, but Galloway unleashed a nice throw, just could not get Newman at second. As that pitch is in there, I'll wait for the finger signals. Garza-Gongora a chance now to knock in a run. Runner in scoring position, that's Newman here with 2 outs in the fourth. 1-0 lead already for Santa Barbara as Saldana looks to second, kicks and deals, and Garza-Gongora hits a cue shot to second. In comes Rulli. He plays it on the forehand and he drops the ball. Coming around third to score is John Newman as Galloway drops the ball. It's 2-0 Santa Barbara.
And it was a tough scene bobbling it over there at second for Rulli, but he had the instincts to go right to home. Unfortunately, Galloway just couldn't fully squeeze it, and there's the second run of the day for Santa Barbara.
So an E4, and Rulli, you're right, the quick insight to go home. He would have had a chance, but he threw it a little bit errantly, and Galloway couldn't catch it and apply the tag. So now the stolen base comes back to bite the Blues. It's 2-0 Santa Barbara. Here's Nate Voss. An unearned run charged to Marcelo Saldana as the second baseman Rulli can't complete the final out of the fourth. Garza-Gongora leads off first, and the pitch is on the outside corner to Voss. No balls and 1 strike. A couple too many of those recently for the Blues. The errors not helping their cause against this Foresters team as Voss takes in the dirt. Galloway keeps it in front, 1-1.
But at least he kept it in front. That's all you can really ask for, as long as it didn't roll out into the outfield. Really did a good job keeping it in front of his body.
Saldana delivers, and a swing and a pop-up straight back and foul off the fencing. 1 ball and 2 strikes falls right in front of us. So with 2 outs, the runner at first is Garza-Gongora. He reached on the error. No credit for an RBI there for the run that scores on the error. It's 2-0 Santa Barbara here in the fourth. As Saldana a strike away from finishing the inning. 1-2 the count on Nate Voss, the catcher from Michigan. 1-2, and that pitch is outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Voss, a 200 hitter across 9 games at Michigan this past year. 2 of his hits were both singles, also walked twice. 2-2 from Saldana. Here it comes. And Voss hits a towering shot to right. Going back is the right fielder, Massiangelo. He now camps under it and makes the one-handed catch. So another run across for the Foresters, unearned on the error by Jacob Rulli. As we head to the fifth, it's 2-0 Santa Barbara. Top of the fifth, Blues trying to get things started on offense. It's 2-0 Santa Barbara, as it'll be TJ Adams to lead things off, followed by Jacob Galloway, Zach Tollerman against Robert Kranz, who's picked up 7 strikeouts through 4 innings, and he now holds a 2-0 lead after the unearned run came in to score in the bottom of the fourth, and a quick 0-1 count on TJ Adams.
Still waiting a response from San Luis Obispo, and if Adams were to reach, he's a stolen base candidate. We're seeing 2 today from Santa Barbara. I'd like to see one from SLO. Put the pressure on.
2 straight breaking balls in the zone, so a quick 0-2 count on the left fielder today from Arizona. We've seen Adams bounce around the outfield. Today gets the start in left with Lewis in center. Kranz nods, kicks and deals, and Adams has to bend back out of the way of that one. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So you've seen Kranz go breaker heavy early in counts these last 2 innings. 1-2 count, maybe he returns to the fastball. He strides and shoots, and Adams lines it straight back. On 1 hop, it hits the fence, still 1-2.
Yeah, he goes after that fastball, and it was looking as fast as ever, not losing any velocity so far in his outing. Usually you'll see guys who are high effort, who are pumping it in like the first inning or 2, and they start to lose it. But Kranz has not lost his stride at all.
1-2. Adams shortens up a bit, pops it straight back foul, 1 ball and 2 strikes. And we saw, crazy enough, with 7 strikeouts through 4 innings, we saw Kranz deviate a little bit from his average for the season. Now he's not averaging 2 strikeouts an inning in this outing. The K-arm is continuing to strike out batters here through the CCL South. Another 1-2. Adams strikes out swinging. So right back to the K to start the 5th, and there's 1 away. Jacob Galloway coming to the plate.
And he goes back to, it looked like a changeup, and Adams was way out in front of that one. The weight went over that front toe. The arms just followed. Came up empty.
Here's Jacob Galloway with the ball in play his first time up. Flew out to center. Now 8 strikeouts for Robert Kranz. There's 1 out here in the 5th. 2-0 Foresters lead here on the 4th of July. With 1 out, the pitch to Galloway is a little in the dirt on the breaking ball. 1 ball and no strikes. So yet another first pitch breaker. Yeah,
we're seeing that now from Kranz. He's officially changing it up. So if I'm the Blues, I'm reading that. I'm going to be sitting at that in the first pitch.
1-0. Galloway sits on it here and takes it a little bit low. 2 balls and no strikes. Jacob Galloway, the catcher from USC, 365 hitter as a freshman. Played in 20 of USC's last 23 games after an injury to senior catcher Connor Aoki. 2-0, and Galloway takes outside. 3 balls and no strikes. The Blues have had 2 base runners, a walk by Massiangelo in the 2nd, and a single by Cody Darcy in the 4th, but Darcy was thrown out trying to steal second base. 3-0. That pitch is low, so Galloway draws the 4th pitch walk. It's his 2nd walk of league play, and he's aboard with 1 out in the 5th.
And Tallman, who hit the ball hard in his last at-bat, hopefully he can follow through again here in this one and maybe move over Galloway. Like I'm saying, I'm not sitting too heavily on that off-speed. If you sit too hard on it, you're going to get beat right away by Kranz because he's got some velocity, and you're not going to be ready for it, not even remotely close.
Galloway takes his lead off first. Kranz working from the stretch yet again. Looks in at Zach Tollerman. Kicks and deals. And Tollerman takes the fastball first pitch this time. No balls and 1 strike.
See, if he was sitting breaking ball right there and he saw that fastball, he would be completely thrown off in this at-bat. But he saw that fastball all the way through. Hopefully he gets another one here that he can handle.
0-1 the count on the quest to college first baseman. A pick goes back to second, and Galloway dives back in. If you think the crowd is a little louder when Tollerman comes up than anyone else, it's because he's the Figueroa. I forget the second word of that one.
Figueroa Mountain
beer batter. So the fans want to see him strike out. Kranz trying to do just that, but Tollerman pops it up. Heading back, the catcher Voss tosses his mask, and the Michigan backstop comes back and makes the catch in front of the fencing, and Tollerman is retired. No free beer.
I was just going to say, the fans continue to be beerless. If I was a hitter, though, that would inspire me to not strike out. That would be like a little extra pride switch in the back of the head. I can't strike out.
I know a strikeout often hurts the most for hitters, but popping out to a catcher when I used to hit was, I think, my least favorite because you know it has the chance to get foul and out of play, and when it doesn't, it just you feel like you wasted an at-bat.
Doesn't feel good either, especially when you're seeing the catcher set up. You're like, this is going to happen, isn't it?
0-0 to Matt Massiangelo, who walked his first time. He pops this one up in foul territory. Over goes the third baseman, Kendro, and he watches it over the dugout for the Foresters. No balls and 1 strike.
That's a big swing. Not sure how he got a hold of that one with that large uppercut by Massiangelo. The elbow guard fell off on the lead arm.
We saw a couple Blues lefties tattooing balls over the fence in right in batting practice. Hit some cars, almost hit some people. Cars that were both parked and driving on the street. Massiangelo, one of them, and I think he's got a little dust in his eye as the dirt's been kicking up here at Pershing Park. Windy day, as well as he also just kicked up a whole bunch of dirt of his own in the batter's box.
The wind's starting to pick up, blowing in from left field.
Trouble for righties. Doesn't have as much of an effect on left-handed hitters. No balls, 1 strike on Matt Massiangelo with Galloway grabbing his lead at first. Kranz kicks and deals, and Massiangelo takes the fastball high, 1 ball and 1 strike. Massiangelo led all CSU Bakersfield hitters in batting average this past season. I don't think he was technically a qualified hitter for the Roadrunners, but he hit .400 across 20 at-bats, 8 for 20, also knocked in 4. 1-1. And Massiangelo golfs it down the right field line. Over goes the right fielder, Ballou, and he drops the ball. It bounces off the wall as Galloway ranging around third. He gets the wave. Massiangelo at second. Galloway comes in to score. It's an RBI double for the CSU Bakersfield first baseman, and it is 2-1 Blues.
And the right fielder went down and got it. And got that fastball, hits it over to his fellow right fielder, and Ballou over there. It looked like he had a trouble seeing it off the bat. He was turning all sorts of ways. Tried to be an athlete and extended that glove up as his body was facing the other way. Couldn't come down with it. Gives Massiangelo 2 bases and an RBI.
I think they have as much trouble seeing it in right field as we have trouble seeing right field. It's so hard sitting here on the first base line, seeing down with the chain link fence and deep into right field with the fence 365 feet away. But Massiangelo knocks in the first run for the Blues. They score with 2 outs, and now a chance for Kate O'Hara to potentially tie this game. Massiangelo the tying run at second as O'Hara takes in the dirt and a nice drop to the knees block for Voss. 1 ball and no strikes. First extra base hit for Massiangelo as a Blue, and his second RBI in league play as Galloway all the way around to first to score. 2-1 ball game here at Pershing Park. Kranz looks to second at Massiangelo. Now deals it home, and O'Hara takes inside, and it's through the glove of Voss and back to the backstop. Over goes Massiangelo. He advances 90 feet as the Michigan catcher can't collect it. Now, a runner at third for the Blues and a 2-0 count. I don't even think Voss realized that ball wasn't out of his glove. He sat in the squat for an extended period of time before he realized it was all the way back to the backstop.
And I can't tell if he truly didn't think if he thought he caught it or if he was just trying to just stick it there and try to maybe deke Massiangelo from not going to third, but the ball just rolled too far past and he was able to see him. But I'm feeling something swing, Jack. Do you know what that is, swinging?
It's the pendulum.
It's the pendulum.
2 balls, no strikes on Kate O'Hara. RBI opportunity, a chance to tie this game. As O'Hara takes low, 3 balls and no strikes. Kranz a little bit wilder here in the 5th. He's got 8 strikeouts so far. He needs 1 more out to get through the 5th, but the top of the order is on deck in Jariah Lewis. O'Hara wiggles his bat, back of the right-hand batter's box. 3-0 on the way, and O'Hara takes on the outside corner, called strike 1. So Kranz enters the zone. The count 3 balls and 1 strike with Massiangelo the tying run at third base. Kranz comes set from the stretch. Set at the belt. He kicks and deals. And O'Hara takes strike 2 called. Another paralysis fastball from Kranz, who's a strike away. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. It's a 2-1 ball game, and the Blues have Matt Massiangelo at the third base bag. Kranz sets. Looks to third. Now he delivers. O'Hara strikes out swinging. The 9th strikeout through Kranz gets him through the 5th, but the Blues are on the board. An RBI double from Matt Massiangelo. It's 2-1 as we head to the bottom half of the 5th inning. bottom of the fifth, and it's a slightly brand new ball game, Nate. 2-1 Foresters as the Blues got on the board on the RBI double from Matt Massiangelo. And now here's Gianni Horvat to lead things off against Marcelo Saldana. 9-1-2 due up for Santa Barbara as Saldana deals and Horvat takes a little low. 1 ball and no strikes. And frankly, I'm not sure where that one missed.
I'm not sure. Still trying to figure out where this zone is going to be today.
It doesn't seem like it's the low fastball for Saldana. The 1-0, and Horvat tattoos it deep to left. Heading back is the left fielder, Adams. He watches it over the fence and gone. The Foresters get the run right back on a leadoff home run from Gianni Horvat, his second of the summer. It's 3-1.
Yeah, this is a mistake by Saldana. Way too much of the plate on that fastball for Horvat. And not sure if you could tell on the stream, but this was hooking. Almost thought it was going to be foul, but it stayed pretty true. That fence out there left is 310. This is a line drive home run. Probably typically a double in most yards, certainly at Sinsheimer. But over here at Pershing, we got a 310 fence, and they respond immediately.
So Saldana gives up the homer. Horvat starts the inning off with a long ball. It's now 3-1. Top of the order coming up. Here's Daniel Patterson. Patterson's 2 for 2 with a single, a double, and he lines it over the head of Darcy and down the left field line, base hit. The third hit for Patterson as he rounds first, stops on his way to second. The back pick goes there, and it gets away. Patterson was going to have a single. Now he's to second base on a single and an error, and another runner in scoring position for the Foresters.
Yeah, we're seeing the hard contact starting to erupt for Santa Barbara. And an error on a throw just adds insult to injury.
I'm not sure. Did you see who made the throw?
Quintel's looking down there as well.
It just got right by Tollerman. I don't know whether it was O'Hara or Rulli, whoever cut it off from left. A single and an error, and now Daniel Patterson at second. 2 very hard hit balls off Marcelo Saldana to start the bottom of the fifth. Here's Jake Kendro, who has walked and struck out. He's 0 for 0. Saldana looks to second. Now he fires, and a swing and a miss. No balls and 1 strike. So the Blues had to work so hard to grab their first run, and here just 2 batters into the bottom of the fifth. The Foresters have responded with the run of their own, and they've got a chance to add another. Runner at second, nobody out. Saldana sets at the belt. 0-1 on the way. And that fastball is outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Patterson, great speed at the second base bag. He's already got 2 stolen bases today to give him 7 on the summer. We've already seen him steal third once. The first baseman from Westmont College with a big lead at second base. Saldana looks back there. Now he brings it home. And a swing and a miss. Sword from Kendro, 1-2.
Liking to see the confidence is still up for Saldana on that fastball. It's the 2-hitter in Kendro, coming from Tennessee, intimidating guy in the box, and he's still attacking with the fastball.
Saldana collects himself. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Kendro tops it foul, back and out of play. Still 1-2 the count.
Out in front of that one, fouls it directly back. It's been all day for Kendro. Hasn't been the best at waiting on pitches.
He's been the best at fouling them off.
Has been.
Long at bat. His first time up. Another one back in the third, but he struck out in that one. Saldana trying to repeat that here in the fifth. Strikeout spot. A long hold, and the 1-2. Kendro strikes out swinging. Nice pitch from Saldana. The changeup off the outside corner gets Kendro swinging, and there's 1 out here in the 5th inning.
That's a really good idea there by Saldana to go with the changeup. Make Kendro go out and fish for that one. And it's Kendro's 2nd strikeout of the day.
So a 3-1 game. Saldana now looks in at Max Ballou, the right fielder from Texas. A sacrifice fly in the first to knock in the first run for the Foresters, and then a strikeout to end the third. Lefty-lefty matchup as Saldana stares to second, now comes home, and Ballou takes outside and low. 1 ball and no strikes.
It's a big first out for Marcelo there to get the strikeout. Does it all on his own. It's got to make him feel good heading into this next at-bat.
3 Ks now and 2 1/3 for Saldana. Ballou, one of those strikeout victims, and he struck out Kendro twice. He brings it home, and a swing and a miss on the changeup. 1 ball and 1 strike, and it seems to me that that's the pitch that Marcelo Saldana is the most confident in right now.
Yep, changeup's definitely working. Definitely on a left-on-left matchup right here. It's a tough one to hit out of that side of the batter's box.
I mean, if you do hit it, a lot of times you're hitting it on the ground. So
exactly.
Saldana trying to induce weak contact. 1-1. Ballou checks his swing. Did he go around on the breaking ball? The check to third, he did. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
They went back to the changeup. It's a half swing out of Ballou.
So 1-2 the count. Another strikeout spot for Saldana if he can pick it up. He struck out Kendro and Ballou back-to-back in the third. Chance to do it here in the fifth for the second out. 1-2 as he sets with his tan glove at his navy belt. Here's the pitch. Ballou takes way high. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
You've seen Saldana try to huck it in there in those at-bats late in counts where he's up. And they're either too high or they're spiked. If you can split the difference between the two, be curious to see how many guys he can beat.
A check to second, 2-2 on the way. Ballou takes strike 3 call. Marcelo Saldana with back-to-back strikeouts, and just like that, 2 away here in the fifth.
Yeah, just checking to make sure that curveball still works, and it does.
It does. I think it does.
Looks very nice on that final strike to Ballou.
So Ballou, the reigning CCL South hitter of the week, has struck out his last 2 times up, and now with the 1 run across and then the single in the air, Saldana still a chance to get out of this inning with just the 1 run. Will Rogers, the left fielder from Arizona State, comes up. A pop out and a line out. Saldana check back to second. He comes home, and Rogers pops it up right side. Chasing it is the first baseman Tollerman, and he watches it over the yellow fencing. No balls and 1 strike.
So now we're going back on right on left, and that changeup was working so well on the left-handed batter Ballou. Worked well on Kendro as well. Felt good on the curveball. Wondering if we're going to see another curveball here, especially after strike 1.
Rogers saw a lot of righties yesterday and was chasing the breaking ball that was breaking away from him. We'll see if he would chase it down in the dirt as well. It seemed to not really pick up spin yesterday. Hitting the ball a little bit better today. 0-1, and Rogers takes it high. Nice jumping snare by Jacob Galloway. 1 ball and 1 strike. His last time up, Rogers absolutely laced the ball to short, but they had Kate O'Hara playing pretty deep, did the Blues, and he was able to range and make the catch before it got into the outfield. 1-1 as Saldana shakes his glove a little bit. Now comes set. Here's the pitch, and Rogers takes the changeup low, 2-1.
Another good idea by Saldana, an even greater take by Rogers. I think today he's able to see spin a lot better. He's taken a lot more pitches that he was swinging at yesterday.
2-1. Saldana looks back to Patterson at second. Now comes home, and Rogers takes in the dirt. 3 balls and 1 strike. Another nice block by Jacob Galloway.
Yeah, Saldana was trying once again to get the chase out of Rogers. But he does another good job leaving off, and he works himself into a 3-1 count.
Big pitch incoming from Saldana. He could walk Rogers. There's an open base at first with John Newman on deck, but Newman singled and scored his last time up. 3-1. And the pitch is inside. Rogers draws the walk, and 2 base runners on here with 2 outs in the 5th inning. So Rogers reaches base for the 2nd time in the series, drew a walk yesterday. Now a walk his 3rd time up today, and now John Newman will come up. 2 runners on, 2 outs.
John Newman with that single in his 2nd time up, and he eventually scored.
Saldana comes set at the belt, looks in at the DH from UCSB. Now kicks and deals and misses a little bit high. 1 ball and no strikes.
And that walk doesn't destroy you there. First base is already open. You got 2 outs. Just keep pitching like you have been.
Forced at any base. 1-0 count on the Gaucho. Saldana, a spin back throw to second, and Rulli has to dive, and it bounces into center field either way. In comes Lewis. Patterson up to third. Rogers up to second. And now maybe the walk hurts a little bit more. 2 runners in scoring position with 2 outs.
Yeah, that does kill you. Now you got runners on 2nd and 3rd. And now Newman, all he has to do is just find a hole. And the Santa Barbara can add on another one.
Newman already has 1 run knocked in this season in his short time played for the Foresters. The UCSB DH ahead in the count 1-0. Now a chance to knock in 2. Saldana comes home, and a check swing foul down the first base line, 1-1. Marcelo Saldana, the lefty, working his 3rd full inning Needs one out to finish the fifth. He gave up the leadoff home run to Gianni Horvat, and the two-bagger from Patterson, the single and the error. Back-to-back strikeouts before the walk. And after the errant pickoff throw, 2 runners on, 2 outs, and a 1-1 count. He delivers, and that strike is on the inside corner with the fastball, 1-2. A strike away from escaping the fifth, and a 3-1 game. Marcelo Saldana stares down Newman. Comes set, tan glove at his Navy belt. He strides and shoots. And Newman wraps it on the ground, up the middle, on the backhand. Rulli has it behind the bag. Long throw. They got him. Nice play by Jacob Rulli at second. The Roadrunner saves his fellow teammate. And Marcelo Saldana gets out of the fifth. 1 run across on the leadoff home run by Horvat. As we head to the sixth, it's 3-1 on the SLO Blues streaming network. It's the top of the sixth inning, and the Foresters making a call to the bullpen, which means Robert Kranz's day is done after 5 innings, 9 strikeouts. But it's another tough arm coming into the game for the Foresters. Sam Garwal, the left-hander from Northwestern.
Yeah, it's good to get into the Santa Barbara pen, but you're not catching a break here with the left-hander coming out of San Diego, Avocado West League, by the way. Talked about that earlier. But all Big Ten freshman team, 49 innings of work as a freshman at Northwestern. Posted up a 5.69 ERA. Putting up 48 strikeouts in 49 innings. This is a guy who attacked the SLO Blues lineup last time we were down here in Santa Barbara. Wonder if he can continue that today.
So Sam Garwal, the lefty, in to face the lefty Jariah Lewis. 3-1 game here in the top of the sixth, and Lewis struck out both times against Kranz, and he starts by looking at a fastball at the bottom of the zone. No balls and 1 strike. Lewis struck out swinging in both of his at-bats against Kranz. Came into this game hitting 192 with 2 runs batted in. Garwal comes set. Big, tall left-hander kicks and fires, and Lewis takes the breaking ball in the dirt, 1-1. Garwal 6'4", 205 pounds. An excellent freshman season at Northwestern.
A different look for Santa Barbara. Left-hander coming out. Not throwing quite as hard. Still going to pump it up there in the upper 80s, though.
1-1 and Lewis takes on the outside corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes. A little less velocity, I would say, out of the hand of Garwal when you compare it to Kranz, but Kranz was really dialing it up there. The 9 strikeouts across 5 innings, most we've seen from an opposing starter across that same amount of innings against the Blues this summer. 1-2. Lewis bounces it on the ground, short to second. In comes Horvat, who plays the big hop and tosses out Lewis at first, 1 away.
Lewis gets a chunk of it. That's a better start than what the Blues had in the beginning of this game. Now Jacob Ruley will get a shot here.
Ruley 0 for 2, a strikeout and a ground out to short for the second baseman from CSU Bakersfield, who might have saved the game for the Blues with a play up the middle where he backhanded a ball and threw out the base runner John Newman to end last inning, keep a couple of runs from scoring for the Foresters. As he takes in the dirt here, 1 ball and no strikes. Of course, we're only here in the 6th, but if the Foresters were able to take a 5-1 lead with their pitching and the strength of their arms, it would have been a tough comeback for the Blues. Now just a 2-run deficit, 1-0. Ruley takes low. 2 balls and no strikes. Nate, we heard before the inning, too. We've already heard about the Figueroa Mountain Beer batter, but this is the Figueroa Mountain Beer inning. If there's any strikeout, all adults in the stands get beer coupons. 2-0. Ruley bounces it off his own foot. Ouch. 2 balls and 1 strike.
I'd rather have hot sauce.
Ruley going to take a walk. That looked like it hurt. We've seen the Blues and opposing batters. They do that all the time, and it just looks painful every single time it happens.
I feel like that's happened. I think I've said this before, too, but I feel like in modern baseball, that happens a lot more than, say, when our dads watched and played. You know, I feel like back in that day, it didn't happen as much. And then now we have the technology to have, the guards on top of the foot, on the shin. And like we've said, it never seems to hit that area. It always catches part of your shin or your foot somehow.
Really might need to invest in one of those.
Yeah.
Also, by technology, you just mean like a pad.
A pad.
Yeah.
That's tech.
2 balls, 1 strike. Sam Garwal kicks and deals. And Ruley bounces it on the ground to third. Big hop to Kendro, who plays near his face and makes the across-the-diamond throw in time to get Ruley 2 away.
Yeah, that's that hop that Cody Darcy got earlier in this game, but he was playing back a little farther, so it just went right into his chest. But in this case, Kendro almost ate him up in the face, but still ends up making the play, making the out over at first base.
So now with 2 away, here's Cody Darcy, the third baseman from Arkansas State. Darcy is 1 for 2. He's got one of the Blues' only 2 hits. That was a single in the 4th. He struck out in the 1st. First time facing Garwal, who delivers 0-0. And Darcy takes a little bit low with the changeup. 1 ball and no strikes. Want to know the count on Cody Darcy. Sam Garwal up atop the hill. The sun sets, he delivers, and Darcy swings and laces it straight back. 1 ball and 1 strike. Darcy making his return to the Blues. He's been away for a while, back in Dean Trainer's order today. Playing third, batting third, and up for a third time. Top of the 6th, 2 outs, a 1-1 count as the new lefty from Northwestern strides and shoots. Cody Darcy takes way in the dirt. Bounced about a foot or 2 in front of home plate. 2 balls and 1 strike.
A little misgrip on that changeup right there. That's one of Garwal's favorite pitches. He'll go fastball and the slider and the changeup. So far he's been liking the changeup today.
So now a 2-1 count on the third baseman from Arkansas State. Blues want a base runner, try and bring the tying run to the plate. 2-1. Darcy takes strike 2 call with a fastball in the inside corner. A 2-2 count.
It's a good spot by Garwal.
Trying to spot up again, pick up a strikeout, his first of the day. Send the fans home happy with some beer coupons. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Garwal lifts his leg, fires, and Darcy strikes out swinging. A 1-2-3 frame, free beer for the fans, and we head to the bottom of the 6th. It's 3-1 on the SLO Blues streaming network. We're back here on the SLO Blues streaming network. Bottom of the sixth in the 3-1 game, and it's another Blues debut. Kyle Dunning, the right-hander, heading to CSU Bakersfield next year, takes over for his future Roadrunner teammate Marcelo Saldana here in the sixth.
Yeah, familiar face out there on the mound for a lot of guys in this Blues dugout. Growing up in Enumclaw, Washington, same hometown as Cody Darcy. Also going to Tacoma Community College in his first few years of university, along with Feld. But now he went to Michigan State. And then last year at CSU Bakersfield did not see any action, but he'll see action today at Pershing Park.
Jalen Flores due to lead things off for the Foresters. 3-1 game, and Flores cracks a line drive foul into the bullpen. Down the left field line, no balls and 1 strike. Flores is 0 for 2 with a strikeout looking and a line out to center. Last time he came up, he really smashed the ball, just happened to go right to Jariah Lewis. Sun setting, providing a bright backdrop here at Pershing Park, as that's a little bit high. 1 ball and no strikes. So 1-1 the count. Kyle Dunning making his first appearance for the Blues, the rising redshirt junior at CSU Bakersfield. Dunning delivers, and Flores takes on the inside corner with the breaker. 1 ball and 2 strikes. First one of those we've seen on the right-hander's arm.
Yeah, some good movement out of that slider, it looks like. It's got some extra drop to it.
1-2. Flores lines it straight back. Looked like he was out in front of the breaking ball. Still 1 ball and 2 strikes. When I say bright backdrop, I don't exactly mean it in a good way. It's making it a little hard to see.
It's bright. We mean the sun is the backdrop.
1-2. Here's another pitch. And Flores hits another looping liner down the left field line. Off the batting cages, still 1-2. And now batting a shadow. Sure, it's not fun for left-handed hitters either.
No.
Although it's not quite low enough yet to truly be in the line of sight.
In the corner of your eye, though, as a hitter, it's agitating.
A little distracting. Another 1-2. Flores strikes out swinging. So Dunning starts his first Blues outing with his first strikeout, and there's 1 out here in the 6th.
And Flores was putting together a good at-bat, fighting off those sliders. Fought off that fastball, too. He just a little out in front on it too much. He fouled it off into the bullpen twice. But then Dunning went out with that fastball and blew away Flores for his first strikeout as a Blue.
The Blues have struck out plenty of times at the plate today, 10 through 6 innings, but the pitching's been matching that number decently. 7 strikeouts now for Blues pitching with 1 out here in the 6th. And here's Rocco Garza-Gongora, one of the few hitters for the Foresters who hasn't striked out. As he cues this one to third, in comes Darcy on the infield grass. He slings it across in time to get Garza-Gongora. 1 pitch and another out. There's 2 away here in the 6th.
You can tell Darcy's a guy that's been doing it for quite a while. He just made that play look easy. It's a soft roller over to him at third base, but he just comes up because he's made that play millions of times in practice and in games.
You feel like the guys that play shortstop as a primary position normally pick up the other positions the best.
Yeah.
Dunning delivers to Nate Voss, and the catcher from Michigan spoils this one foul. It's now bouncing towards the foul line, and I think Zach Tollerman thought it might have bounced fair, but at the last second it hooks across that first base bag foul. No balls and 1 strike. It's almost like you're watching a pool ball roll down and you're wondering, is it going to hit it in? Is it going to hit it in? And then it just misses off the side of the, I don't know what you would even call it. It's not a bunker, but the sidewall.
Yeah.
Sounds like a hockey thing.
Yeah.
No balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. And Voss lines it straight back. Better swing this time, but an 0-2 count. So Dunning looking to go 1-2-3 in his first frame for the Blues. Bring San Luis Obispo back up. 3-1 game, the Foresters lead. Blues have been primarily playing in tight games recently. Tension at an all-time high yesterday. Same today. 0-2. And Voss takes strike 3 call. Perfect breaking ball. Breaks back over the heart of the plate. And that is a 1-2-3 inning for Dunning in his first outing with the Blues. We head to the 7th. It's 3-1 still on the SLO Blues streaming network. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here from Pershing Park. 2/3 of the way through this game, we're into the top of the 7th, and another arm coming out of the Foresters' pen. It's the tall right-hander, 6'9", Hunter Watkins from GCU.
Yeah, the kid, it's the lope. You look at his numbers so far this season, hasn't been characteristic of what he is in 8.2 innings pitched. Only's got 2 strikeouts. He's got 9 hits. His time at GCU, he got the 7-inning no-hitter against St. Bonaventure and another 7-inning complete game with 19 strikeouts. Actually, that's in high school. But still, that's who he's been so far in his career.
Pitches to contact, but he's done a great job for the Foresters so far this year. A 1.04 earned run average. He faces Cam Constantine, the cleanup hitter, to lead things off in the 7th. And Constantine swings at the first pitch, laces it foul down the third base line. Everyone in this game is trying that third base left field line, and no one can place it fair.
Yeah, that was some loud contact out of Constantine. If that were to stay fair, that would easily be extra bases.
Watkins still throws decently hard, but he's easily the softest thrower that the Foresters have put out on the mound today. As the tall right-hander kicks and fires 0-1, Constantine takes the breaking ball low, 1 ball and 1 strike. Grace Brethren High School, that's where Hunter Watkins is from. The senior year, you mentioned it was insane. 36 1/3, no earned runs, and 65 strikeouts. As Constantine takes low again, 2-1. The 1 win, 1 loss in 4 games pitched so far for the Foresters. 8 2/3. You mentioned the 9 hits, only the 2 Ks, but he's limited the runs. 2-1. Constantine cracks this one foul way early again. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, he's on that fastball. I'm Watkins. I'm not going back in on that to Constantine. And if I do, and I'm Constantine, I want to put that same swing on it, just straighten it out just a little more.
He hasn't been able to place the breaking ball for a strike yet. 2-2 on the way. Constantine bounces it foul. That was the breaking ball. He got it over the heart of the plate, but Constantine spoiled it away. Still 2-2.
It's a good spoiler of pitches, Cam Constantine is.
Blues desperately need a league win. They trail by 2 here after losing their last 2 league games, including a 2-0 loss in yesterday's contest in 10 innings. Pitch to Constantine, and he lines it straight back yet again. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes. It's Constantine, Adams, Galloway due up here in the 7th as the Blues behind by 2 here at Pershing Park. Watkins stares in at Nate Voss for his sign. The DH from Texas at the plate. Another 2-2. Constantine takes the breaking ball low. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And the Blues will take a walk. That would bring up TJ Adams as a potential tying run here in the 7th inning. Blues have 2 hits. They've walked twice, just 4 base runners so far through the first 6. First batter in the 7th, payoff on the way, and Constantine goes down on strikes. A fastball above the zone gets Constantine to chase, and there's 1 away here in the 7th.
Bummer didn't see that at-bat turn out for him like he wanted to. He threw together another battle. He does that, as I mentioned, in a lot of his at-bats. I think more than any other Blues hitter we've seen. But unfortunately, it just didn't pay off for him. He strikes out swinging on that elevated fastball.
11 strikeouts now with 1 out in the 7th for Santa Barbara pitching. And here's TJ Adams, who's K'd both of his times up. And he takes in the dirt, has to jump rope out of the way of that one. 1 ball and no strikes. Adams, the left fielder from Arizona, now hitting below 200. 1-0. He takes on the inside corner here. 1 ball and 1 strike. So he's on the interstate. 4 runs batted in, though. Trying to get things started for the Blues here in the 7th with 1 away. 1-1. And Adams bends back out of the way of the breaking ball that crosses the inside corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, starting to click more for Watkins. That curveball looked a lot sharper there to TJ Adams.
He kicks and fires 1-2, and Adams this time bends back for a good reason. It's in the dirt, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
It didn't quite want it to land right there. Maybe wanted Adams to go after it a little bit, but just pulled it a little too much and skipped it in.
Watkins nods. The 6'9 righty kicks and fires. Adams pops it up foul. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes. Watkins was named the Tri-Valley League Pitcher of the Year at Grace Brethren. Easy to understand with his senior season. When you have a 0 ERA with 65 strikeouts, good enough for that award.
Insane.
2-2 on the way. And Adams takes the curveball. Strike 3 called. Back-to-back strikeouts for Hunter Watkins. He's matched his season total through the first 2 batters here in the 7th.
And that threw another breaking ball. It's the curveball. Plopped right into TJ Adams. It tied him up. I think he was expecting the fastball right there. And you just saw his knees buckle on that breaker for the 2nd strikeout of the inning.
And now I just wonder if the stat page is a typo. It's getting hard to believe with Watkins' stuff that he's only got 2 strikeouts coming into this game. As Galloway checks his swing, it's a strike on the fastball, 0-1. 2 strikeouts to start the 7th after Watkins supposedly only had 2 strikeouts in his first 9 2/3 innings of work. 0-1. Galloway takes above the zone, 1 ball and 1 strike.
His high school numbers are like the pitcher version of Jake Hicksonbaugh's time at Atascadero.
Absolutely.
You can't even believe it till you see it.
1-1. Galloway takes the curveball, and now it's spotting up perfectly. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Watkins complete control of the breaking ball.
Yeah, and moving quickly. I'm having trouble even getting it down my scorebook before we can start talking again.
1-2. Galloway lines it towards short on 1 hop. A backhanded stop by Flores. He throws across his body in time to get Galloway. 2 strikeouts in Watkins' first frame, matching his previous season total, and the Blues don't score in the 7th. We head to the bottom half of the frame. It's 3-1 Foresters on the SLO Blues streaming network. Bottom 7, it's Dunning still out there on the mound for the Blues, and Gianni Horvat, who homered to lead off the 5th in his last at-bat, comes up to lead off the 7th in a 3-1 game. Foresters and Blues, game 2 in this 3-game series. Foresters looking to claim the series in the 2nd game as this pitch is low out of the hand of Dunning. 1 ball and no strikes. Dunning went 1-2-3 in its first inning for SLO, struck out 2, including a strikeout looking of Nate Bost and the frame. 1-0 on the way, and Horvat takes a fastball in the outside corner, 1 ball and 1 strike. Last time when Horvat came up, it was against the lefty Saldana, and he sat fastball in the at-bat and just hammered a line drive over the short porch in left field for his 2nd homer of the year. 1-1, he has to slide back out of the way of this fastball, 2 balls and 1 strike. Dunning trying to keep this game close. Blues still searching for an answer on offense to Santa Barbara pitching. They've only scored 1 run now across the first 16 innings in this series. That is cracked to left, but hooking away from the left fielder Adams. He slides, and he can't make the catch. 2 balls and 2 strikes on the foul ball.
Adams looked like he had a good beat on it.
And Adams is fast.
Yeah.
But the sun is right there that ball was impossible to see for basically everyone here in the stands.
I want to talk about fast. His perfect game page, a 6.2, 60.
What was yours?
6.7.
Oh. And you're fast.
I don't mess around.
No.
But 6'2".
That's I was only saying it as a testament to how fast Adams is.
That's cartoonishly fast. 6'2".
2 balls, 2 strikes. And Horvat swings and laces this one again. Foul down the third base line. How many times have we said that as the foul ball keeps the count 2-2?
Yeah, I was just going to say they're wearing out that third base line, just as you were saying last inning.
I think the umpire there at third base is just anxiously waiting to throw his arm towards the fair side of the line, and it's just not coming. Dunning comes set, now delivers, and Horvat takes strike 3 call. 3 strikeouts for Dunning in his first 4 batters faced, and there's 1 out here in the 7th.
It looks like he went to that slider over at Horvat, and he catches him looking, buckles him up. I don't think he was looking for that one. That's a great slider executed for his first strikeout of the inning.
Horvat strikes out for the first time. Now back to the top of the order, Daniel Patterson, who's 3 for 3. 2 singles and a double for the first baseman from Westmont College, as the first pitch is inside, 1 ball and no strikes. He's got 3 of the 5 Foresters hits in this game. With a 1-0 on the way, Patterson swings and lifts it foul. 1 ball and 1 strike. You normally don't see a first baseman hit leadoff, but Patterson, who played third yesterday, has been the epitome of the perfect leadoff hitter in this game.
Reaching base all 3 times. Got a hit in all 3 of his at-bats. He's gotten real comfortable standing at second base as well.
He's advanced in a scoring position each of the times he's been on base. As he swings here, laces a line drive into right center field, but it's hanging up for Matt Massiangelo, who makes the one-handed catch for the second out. Patterson retired for the first time, 2 away here in the 7th inning.
Dunning has just been really efficient ever since coming into this game.
So with 2 outs, the batter will be Jake Kendro. Kendro had that epic at-bat in the first inning. Saw 14 pitches, eventually drew the walk after fouling nearly every offering off from Feld. Since then, back-to-back swinging strikeouts. Both of those were against Saldana. That was first time against the new righty Kyle Dunning. Dunning from the stretch where he works consistently, and this is chopped to third, and guess what, Nate? It's foul.
Deja vu.
Yeah, say that again. 1 ball, or no balls and 1 strike on the third baseman from the University of Tennessee. Kendro at Tennessee this past season, a .219 average. He started 7 games, played in 24, hit 1 home run, knocked in 6. Here comes the 0-1, and that pitch is off the outside corner with the slider, 1 ball and 1 strike. Wind picking up a little bit more, blowing in from left field, so with a right-hander up, harder to hit a ball deep to left. Wind picking up, sun setting out and left. 1-1. Kendro takes strike 2 called. Perfect slider. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
The meteorologist moment, but the coast is behind our backs, and we're facing left. I feel like the wind would blow out towards left. I would like to know the science as to why it's blowing in.
Kendro checks his swing. Did he go around on the slider? Yes, he did. 2 strikeouts and another inning for Dunning. He struck out 4 through his first 2, and we head to the 8th. It is 3-1 on the SLO Blues streaming network. Only a couple more chances for the Blues. We're here in the top of the 8th inning at Pershing Park. 3-1 the score. Foresters on top, and it's Hunter Watkins to stay out against Zach Tullerman, Matt Massiangelo, Cade O'Hara, due up in the 8th. Tullerman strikes on the outside corner. Fastball from Watkins at the bottom of the zone, 0-1.
Blues slowly running out of time. They're going to have to flip the script pretty soon if they want to stay in this.
Tullerman checks his swing. Did he go around? Yes. We saw that Dunning got the strikeout to end the inning. I think we both agree that the batter to end the frame, Kendro, didn't go around. I don't think Tullerman went around there either. Hasty calls it first. 0-2. Tollerman bounces it on the ground. Backing up is the shortstop Flores. He gloves, throws low, and it gets by the first baseman Patterson. Tollerman has to retreat back to the first base bag. He's aboard on the error by Flores, and the Blues bring the tying run to the plate here in the 8th inning.
And this is the break that the Blues need to spark something up. They're going to bring out Massiangelo. He had that double. He caught a break in his last at-bat. It's good to see that, but the error over there by short could light something up for San Luis Obispo here.
Flores made a pair of errors in yesterday's contest, and other than that, he was fantastic defensively. Now just a throw that was a little low, and Patterson couldn't dig it out. A leadoff error, and Tollerman is aboard. Matt Massiangelo, representing the tying run here in the 8th, steps up. Hunter Watkins comes set from the stretch. He deals and misses. Back to the backstop. It's off the catcher Voss, and Tollerman advances 90 feet to second. Voss retreats to pick the ball back up. Now a runner in scoring position for the Blues and a 1-0 count with nobody out.
It's moments like these where you got to get guys in like Tollerman, who reached on 2 errors, reaching to first on the error, then reaching second on that error. So it's extra important to capitalize on those here. And that's what you just got to do to stay in games like this.
Wind picking up a little bit extra, not coming from the seaside like Nate Mills would have thought, coming in from left field. 1 ball, no strikes on Matt Massiangelo. A double his last time up, and he takes strike 1 with a fastball, 1-1.
That's why I'm not a meteorologist. You know what I mean?
Stick to baseball.
Yeah.
Massiangelo has walked and doubled. He's got the lone RBI for the Blues in this game. It's 3-1 here in the 8th inning. And Watkins, who's the 3rd pitcher to come in for the Foresters, features crazy stuff as well. He struck out 2 in his first inning of work. He deals on the outside corner to Massiangelo with a fastball, 1-2. And he's been able to pick up strikes with a fastball, and you know what that sets up? It's the devastating curve that you figure has to be coming at some point. Watkins stares in at his side. Tollerman at second with nobody out here in the 8th. He sets, looks back at the second base bag, now brings it home, and Massiangelo takes the hook outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
There's the curve, but it hasn't been landing like it has been. A little misgrip there. Kind of flops out of the hand and just spins in there for a ball.
Even count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Runner at second, nobody out. The batter's Massiangelo. Tollerman is at second base. Massiangelo's the tying run in this game. Pitch on the way, and Massiangelo grounds it into the hole at shortstop. Flores gloves on the backhand, another low throw, and it's by Patterson again. In comes Tollerman to score as Massiangelo tripped up around first. Tollerman scores, it's 3-2. Massiangelo to second, and now the Blues in business here in the 8th.
And this is another tough play for Flores. This is deep in the hole. We saw Cato Hare over there earlier in the game kind of digging his foot over there at shortstop. Must be some grip or bounce problem happening over there, but Flores having a tough time digging it out of there. Makes another throw that skips in front of Patterson, goes back, rolls into the dugout, and the Blues add on another one on a free one.
And they're bringing in a pinch hitter. It's Theo Hardy who's taking over for Cato Hare, and now a chance the Blues have the runner, the tying run, at second base with nobody out here in the 8th. As Theo Hardy took the plate, he got a little talk by Jariah Lewis. I'm expecting Theo Hardy to lay down a bunt here. Massiangelo the tying run at second. Tollerman already around to score. 2 errors in the inning. Hardy doesn't bunt, but he rolls it over to second. This will get the job done. The second baseman Horvat throws to first. Moving over to second, the tying run Massiangelo. He now stands at third base with 1 out.
It's not a bunt, but it's the same effect. Just a little rollover grounder to second base. Moves Massiangelo over to third. Sets up Cato Hare nicely, or Jariah Lewis nicely.
Jariah Lewis is 0 for 3. 2 strikeouts. But this is what the Blues couldn't do in yesterday's game. They move the runners over when they need to. And now a chance, you got to bring him in. Tying run in a 3-2 game is at third base in the 8th inning with 1 out. And the catcher Voss going out to talk without a handle, Jariah Lewis. Now, you're Lewis. What are you expecting from Watkins? You've now seen a couple of your teammates go up there against a 6'9" right-hander. What are you looking for?
See, I'm Jariah Lewis. I'm sitting on fastball all the way here. But like I said, just want to kind of take that with a grain of salt because you sit on that too hard. Watkins pops out with that breaking ball, not going to be as ready. So I'm ready for everything. But I think, number one, I'm just going to say the fastball.
So Voss returns back behind the plate. Lewis has 2 runs batted in on the summer. If he can pick one up here, it would be extra important for the Blues, who are looking to tie this game in the 8th inning. They've been given a pair of gifts by the shortstop Flores, trying to take advantage, down now by just 1. Pitch from Watkins, and Lewis bounces it past the first base bag, foul. No balls and 1 strike. No balls, 1 strike on the center fielder today from San Jose State, as Watkins, the GCU low, preps with the corners in for the Santa Barbara Foresters. 0-1. Lewis chases the curveball down low. No balls and 2 strikes. What you can't do is strike out. Absolutely not.
No, cannot strike out in this situation. And the devastating curveball, as you coined it, rearing its ugly head for the second pitch of the at-bat and strike 2.
Infield comes in. 0-2 pitch on the way. Lewis chases the curveball, but it's back to the backstop. The tying run coming to score. Lewis is going to make it to first on the drop third strike, and the Blues get another gift. It's 3-3. What a turn of events in the 8th for the Blues. 2 errors, a drop third strike, and this game's tied.
We just said you can't strike out. He just did, and a run scored.
We saw at home, in the 9-game homestand for the Blues, at least, what'd you say, 47? Drop third strikes, turn into base runners, maybe more like 5 or 6, but it occurred so many times that you never see that happen. And here, it ties the game for the Blues. And now a chance for the Blues to take the lead. Go-ahead run at first. Just 1 out here in the 8th. Jacob Rulli, the hitter, who's 0 for 3. He squares to bunt and takes a fastball for a strike.
And something the Foresters haven't been doing this game, and that's given the free ones, and all of a sudden they're erupting in free ones here in the 8th. It's allowed the Blues to score 2 more and tie the game.
Just 1 hit, an infield single for Mastiangelo, his second of the day. 2 errors and the drop third strike have allowed the Blues to get on, as Rulli takes the slider a little bit low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Lewis doesn't get an RBI for that, but
no.
Also wasn't the greatest of at-bats, but it worked, and that's what matters for the Blues right now. It's 3-3, and now the focus is on trying to bring in the runner from first. Pick goes there, and Lewis is back in. You understand maybe a little paranoia on the side of the Foresters. Lewis is 7 for 8 on stolen base attempts in league play, and a handful of them came in the games played here at Pershing Park against the Foresters, where he stole 2 bags on that day. 6'9" righty picks again. Lewis, a little jump back. He kind of had to flounder to get back to the bag, but he's in there in time. Still a 1-1 count on the batter, Jacob Rulli, with a speedy Lewis at first. Big opening down the left field line. Everyone's been going there today. No one's hooked it fair. If Rulli can, Lewis would score from first. Here's the pitch. Rulli takes high. Back pick goes there. Lewis is back in. 2 balls, 1 strike, and the runner stays at first.
Yeah, you need getting some work. Bad day to be a washing machine.
The navy blue jersey for Jariah Lewis, caked in Pershing Park dirt. Same with the gray pants. A 2-1 count on Jacob Rulli. Go-ahead run at first in the 8th. Watkins delivers. Lewis takes off, and the pitch is popped up. Foul down the first base line. Lewis had Watkins read like a book, but Rulli couldn't hold back. Is that a situation in a 2-1 count, or if you feel like your teammate has the bag, you feel like you need to take, or do you like Rulli getting the swing off there with the fastball?
I like Rulli getting the swing off there, but I think personally I'd feel like I'd need to take in that situation.
2-2 the count. We'll see if Lewis runs again. He doesn't, and Rulli strikes out swinging. So Jacob Rulli down on strikes. Second strikeout of the inning. First one that really counts for an out. And now there's 2 away. The batter will be Cody Darcy, who's 1 for 3.
He gets another swing off. It's another curveball. Rulli goes after it. That's the second out of the inning. Lewis still at first.
Darcy singled in the 4th, sandwiched in between a pair of strikeouts. With 2 outs here in the 8th, Lewis still at first. He takes off. Darcy takes high. The throw from Voss is on the money and in time. Jariah Lewis thrown out for just the 2nd time this summer. And the Blues, after tying the game, have the potential go-ahead run thrown out at second. The big story, though, the game is tied. We head to the bottom of the 8th. It's now 3-3 after a pair of mistakes from the Foresters on the SLO Blues streaming network. We got a whole new ball game. It's the bottom of the 8th. This game is tied 3-3 between the Foresters and the Blues, as the Blues got on the board twice in the top half of this inning on a pair of errors and a drop third strike by the Foresters. And now a new pitcher coming in for the Blues. It's Boston Warkentin, the 6'2", 205-pound right-hander from Ladner, British Columbia, who's got a 2.7 earned run average and 3.1 innings for the Blues so far this summer. And Nate, I think if you had to pick a Blues pitcher with the best stuff, my pick would go to Boston Warkentin.
My pick would be that as well. When he's on, he is on, and hopefully he can be that guy for the Blues in this inning.
After Jariah Lewis was thrown out trying to steal second, put himself in scoring position in the top half of the inning, the Blues are, I'm sure, happy to pitch tied, but they'd have loved to have taken the lead in that last inning. But a 3-3 game, better than 3-1 for sure. And it's the heart of the order coming up for the Foresters. Ballou, Rogers, Newman here in a newly tied game. And the first pitch from Warkentin is outside, 1 ball and no strikes. You're going to see a 90-mile-an-hour fastball from Warkentin and the most devastating slider on the Blues staff. That's the fastball, and it's high, 2 balls and no strikes. Warkentin was called on in the game against the Ventura County Pirates. Walked the first batter he faced, but then picked up a strikeout to end the inning with the bases loaded. As he misses low here, 3 balls and no strikes. I think that game was against the Academy Barons, not the Ventura County Pirates, I stand corrected. But Warkentin was able to bear down there, trying to keep this game tied here. As Ballou takes 4 pitches out of the zone, and it's a 4-pitch walk to start the inning. Go-ahead run at first here in the 8th for the Foresters.
Yeah, not a good start for the Canadian here, but I think the crucial thing for Warkentin right now is to just be a goldfish, as Ted Lasso would say. Short memory.
That's what he did against the Barons. He walked the first batter on 4 pitches to load the bases, then threw 3 balls in that count before getting the 3-2 strikeout. And with Max Ballou with good speed at first, Warkentin deals, and Will Rogers takes a fastball for a strike as Warkentin finds the zone. It's 0-1. This series has already just been a bunch of nail-biting games. Yesterday's final 2-0 in 10 innings after the game went to extra scoreless. Here a 3-3 game in the 8th as Will Rogers swings and fouls it out of the glove of Galloway, 0-2. Pitching's been the story. Both these offenses trying to be the better team at situational hitting. Will Rogers today has walked, popped out, and lined out. He's 0 for 2. An 0-2 count as Warkentin looks at first, now comes home. That's the slider, and it's speared just foul. Still 0-2.
Yeah, Rogers, after seeing 2 fastballs hummed in there, late on both of them, gets that slider. He's early on that one and fouls it straight back.
Warkentin, a couple more chances to leave the zone. Rogers was sent down on the slider a couple times yesterday. Is that what the Canadian will go to? He does, and he struck him out. Warkentin with the K, and there's 1 out here in the 8th.
And there's the devastating slider you're talking about. So much horizontal movement, just escaping the bat of Rogers. He swings right through it for a strikeout.
Well, we've asked a couple of pitchers, including Marcelo Saldana, on air about what pitcher they would steal, or what pitch they would steal from a fellow pitcher, and the answer from Saldana was the fastball from Warkentin, but I think that pitch, the slider, is the best one as the pick goes to first and Ballou is back in. John Newman at the plate. Newman singled and scored a run in the 4th, then came up with 2 runners on at second and third in the 5th inning and grounded out to end the frame right behind the second base bag to Jacob Ruley. Warkentin picks again, and they got him! Ballou picked off first by Warkentin, and there's 2 outs.
It's a great move by Boston Warkentin going back over the first. Almost better tag by Tollerman to pick off Ballou. That's a huge out.
That's a long walk back to the dugout. The potential go-ahead run, White from the base pass, and now Warkentin works from the windup. The fastball is inside, 1 ball and no strikes. So both teams making outs on the base paths in the 8th inning.
That's one of the bigger outs you'll see this game.
Huge from Warkentin, and now he can get out of the inning. But he plunks the batter, Newman, and the base runners replaced it first. That had to hurt, too. Warkentin's fastball, when we're talking about the slider, no dig to the fastball because it's out there at 90 miles an hour, right to the tricep of Newman, who takes first base.
It's coming in there hot. Newman ate it up, though.
So the batter will be Jalen Flores. Flores is 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts and a line out to center. 1 strikeout looking, 1 strikeout swinging. And I think Newman's getting pinch run for. It's number 31 Kevin Michaels, who's pinch running for Newman at first. So the DH being replaced, and now it's Michaels who represents the go-ahead run.
Michaels, the guy with speed. He can run.
Warkentin works again from the stretch. Looks in at the Texas shortstop. Comes set. And the Washington right-hander kicks and deals. Flores checks his swing. Did he go around? Yes, he did. No balls and one strike. Quick trigger finger over there. Michaels, the pinch runner, has not tried to steal a base this summer, and he hasn't stole one. 0-1 the count on the Texas Longhorn shortstop. Here's the pitch, and Flores checks his swing again. This time he fully goes around, and Galloway has to block up the slider. Moving up to second is Michaels on the 0-2 pitch, and now a runner in scoring position with 2 away. That's the potential go-ahead run here in the 8th inning. So an 0-2 count on Flores. Warkentin now has to be careful. Runner at second. That's the go-ahead run in the form of Kevin Michaels. Here's the 0-2 offering. Flores bounces it foul. Still 0-2.
Flores doing a good job on that slider there from Warkentin. A lot of movement on it, but he fights it off well down the line.
So another 0-2 prepped to be on the way. Michaels gets his lead at second as Warkentin searching for one more strike, one more out in the 8th to get the Blues to the 9th. Swing and a miss! He got him with the slider, and Warkentin does his job in the 8th. We're heading to the 9th inning. It's tied for a second straight night, 3-3 as we head to the 9th on the SLO Blues streaming network. Nate, stop me if you've heard this one before. Blues and Foresters, 9th inning tie game. It's 3-3 in the top of the 9th, and Cody Darcy's coming up to lead things off against Hunter Watkins. Tie ball game for the second straight night. As Darcy swings to the first pitch, hits a liner, snared at third by Kendro. One pitch, one out on the rocket from Cody Darcy.
Thought this one had a chance, but Kendro was just set up nicely, and he just almost looked like he scooped it off the ground, but his glove was prepared. It was right there. He was set up nice. One pitch, one out.
Darcy hits it hard for the second time. This time, no base hit to show for it. As Cam Constantine, the DH from Texas, comes up. Strikeouts in each of his last 2 at-bats after popping out to start the second inning. Team leader in batting average coming into the game as Constantine almost hit by the changeup. 1 ball and no strikes. Bright sun in left. Wind blowing in. Here's the 1-0. And Constantine ropes it down the third base line, and again, foul. 1 ball and 1 strike.
I think everyone's mad at the sun.
I would say that. Constantine's ahead yet again. He's just out in front against Watkins as he takes a deep breath, trying to wait back in the back of the box as the 6'9" right-hander heading to GCU kicks and deals. And Constantine takes the changeup low. Yeah, the count 2 balls and 1 strike. On deck is TJ Adams. if the inning gets there, Jacob Galloway's in the hole. 2-1 on the way. Constantine hits it, popped up towards the right side. It's the second baseman Horvat calling off the first baseman Patterson. And with two hands, he makes the catch for the second out.
And the Blues down quickly and 2 outs. Darcy had that loud contact there in that first pitch, in that first at bat, but Blues quickly down their last out of the inning.
0-0 to TJ Adams, and Adams ropes it to center. Camping under it is Garza Gongora, and he makes the one-handed catch on the first pitch to Adams. So we'll head to the bottom of the ninth, the chance for the Foresters to walk it off in front of a July 4th crowd. It's 3-3 as we had bottom 9 on the SLO Blues streaming network. Well, here it is, bottom of the ninth inning, a 3-3 game, and for Nate, the second straight day, it's a chance for the Foresters to win it late. They're trying to walk it off in front of a beautiful home crowd here at Pershing Park, and leading things off, it's Rocco Garza-Gongora, the center fielder from Oklahoma. Warkentin stays on the hill for the Blues. 3-3 game as the sun continues to set in left on July 4th. Foresters a chance to walk it off in the ninth. Warkentin deals, and Garza-Gongora takes a 90-mile-an-hour fastball at the bottom of the zone. No balls and one strike. It's hard to see anything here at Pershing Park. If you're on this first base side like we are, bright sun. But Warkentin kicks and deals, and Garza-Gongora takes that fastball outside. Looked like the same spot, but a different result. 1 ball and 1 strike. And I think Garza-Gongora got a gift.
You're not exactly sure with that miss. Identical to the first pitch from Warkentin.
2 fastballs to start the at-bat, and now Garza-Gongora taps this one foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Fireworks going off in the area, and the Foresters trying to create fireworks on the field here in the ninth. It's Garza-Gongora, Voss, Horvat, bottom third of the order against Warkentin here in the ninth. Blues trying to force extras for the second straight game in this 3-game series. Warkentin delivers, and that's strike 3 called. A 1-2 fastball in the outside corner. This time Warkentin gets the call, and there's one away in the ninth.
He just blew that right by Garza-Gongora. Warkentin humming it in there. It was a loud pop off of Galloway's glove, or his mitt behind the plate there.
Third strikeout of the 4 outs that Warkentin has gotten. 3 strikeouts and a pickoff. You got one of the most common things for a pitcher like Warkentin to get, and then relievers don't tend to pick many people off. We're getting a pinch hitter, I believe, here for Nate Voss, the catcher. And this is not a pinch hitter. It seems like both dugouts were chirping at each other. And so Voss had to take a little bit of a break, but it is still Nate Voss, the catcher from Michigan, who's coming up. I'm not sure exactly what the chirping was. Foresters weren't happy with the strikeout call, but the Blues weren't happy with the ball call earlier in the at-bat. Pitch to Voss, and the Michigan catcher takes the slider for a strike, 0-1. Voss is 0 for 3, a ground out, a fly out, and a strikeout looking. He's last time up in the 6th. Blues pitching has really bared down, Trying to do the same here in the ninth. 0-1, and Voss out in front of the breaking ball. No balls and 2 strikes.
That slider is filth.
Warkentin maybe the most live arm that the Blues have. And Dean Traynor has trusted him with a lot. Trusting him again to get the Blues to extra innings here at Pershing Park. He deals, and Voss tattoos it to deep left. TJ Adams to the track, at the wall. He makes the one-handed catch for the second out. A dangerous swing of the bat and an 0-2 count from Voss, but there's 2 away in the ninth inning.
That got a little scary there. I think the wind might have batted it down as it got up there. TJ Adams is there to make the play for the second out.
A little bit of a learning experience maybe for Warkentin. Caught way too much zone in the 0-2 count. And now here's Gianni Horvat, who does have a home run in today's game. He's 1 for 3 with the long ball for the 3rd run of the game back in the 5th inning. First time facing Warkentin as the Canadian deals. And Horvat bounces it up the middle. Behind the bag, Rulli has it on the forehand. The low throw is not in time. It bounces back to the Blues dugout as Galloway with backup. Horvat, the go-ahead run here in the 9th, is aboard at first with 2 outs.
It's a tough play for Rulli to make, to come across his body while going over to the ball, and doesn't execute the throw. And Horvat's aboard.
The Foresters breaking out the USA chants. And now Bill Pintard, the manager, the head coach for the Foresters, out to talk with the umpire. I think he's questioning as to whether that ball bounced out of play, but there's no chance. It bounced off the facing of the Blues dugout. So it's the single for Horvat, and now Daniel Patterson, who's been the best hitter in this lineup today, a chance to come up. Go ahead, run it first, 2 outs in the 9th, and Patterson, who's 3 for 4, a chance to walk it off. Patterson has 2 singles and a double. The first baseman from Westmont College looks and takes the first pitch a little low with a fastball, 1 ball and no strikes.
That's a really good spot, clipping that outer half of the strike zone.
Watch Horvat running from first. 12 of 12 on stolen bases this summer. He doesn't go, and Patterson takes inside. 2 balls and no strikes. And this may be a count for the second baseman from UNLV to take off from first. 2-0 the count as Warkentin, who's already picked off a runner, comes set. He delivers, and Patterson takes it low. 3 balls and no strikes. Blues can't afford a walk here. That would put the potential go-ahead run at second and be in scoring position with Jake Kendrow on deck. What does Warkentin trust? 3-0. He comes set, comes home, and Patterson takes that fastball in the inside corner. 3-1. Patterson singled and scored in the first. 2 stolen bases in that inning. A double in the 3rd, a single in the 5th. He lined out to right to end the 7th. Warkentin, 3-1. He comes home. Patterson takes on the inside corner. Throw down for the stealing Horvat is not in time as the count moves full. The go-ahead run moves to second. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
It's a good jump there by Horvat over at first, swiping second base. Throw's not even close.
With Horvat's speed, a hit would win this game for the Foresters, trying to win it late for the second straight day. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Warkentin comes set, comes home, and Patterson bounces it on a big chop to third. In comes Darcy. His throw across his body is in time for the final out. We're going to extras for the second straight game in this series, heading to the 10th, where the Blues will bring up Galloway, Tollerman, Massiangelo with Adams at second. It's 3-3 as we come back on the SLO Blues streaming network. You want more free baseball? You've got it. We're here in the top of the 10th inning. 3-3 Foresters and Blues tied heading into extra innings for the second straight night. The Blues will have the TJ Adams running at second base here as the courtesy runner with the Major League rules in the 10th inning. And it'll be Jacob Galloway, Zach Tellerman, Matt Mastiangelo coming to the plate. The Blues lost in extras at home in front of 2,466 fans in yesterday's contest. They gave up 2 runs in the top half, didn't score in the bottom, and now as the visiting team, they have the chance to come up first.
And it's Zach Yates rolling out there for the Santa Barbara Foresters. He's got 7.2 innings of work, 5 strikeouts, only allowed 1 earned run here. He's got a 1.17 ERA coming out of the pen for Santa Barbara.
And 8 runs at a premium again today. Yesterday we saw Santa Barbara try and lay down a bunt to advance the runner. It ended up being a base hit. Do you do the same if you're the Blues?
See, I'm thinking yes right here. I think I'm trusting the bunt of Galloway right now. I like what I see in BP. I see them working on it all the time. I'm also loving the speed of TJ Adams, and I trust Boston Workington as well.
Third baseman Kendro playing back. He creeps in, and a pick move goes to second. You use that spaghetti move to see if the hitter's going to square to bunt. Galloway did not square. So take that the way you will. Zach Yates, the right-hander on the mound, trying to limit the Blues here in the top half of the 10th. First pitch to Galloway, who now squares and takes way inside, and it's out of the glove of Voss. The Blues don't need a bunt as Adam moves to third on the pass ball. 1 ball, no strikes, and the Blues have a runner at third base.
Yeah, now you have to score him here. I mean, you know, you get a free one there. You don't have to square around. You just get automatically Adams at third base. This is huge for San Luis Obispo.
Infield comes in. You could try a bunt to bring the run in, but you also can trust Galloway to bring in the run another way. 1 ball, no strikes, and Galloway takes low, 2-0. Matt Spear yesterday behind the plate for the Blues had a fastball pop out of his mitt and back to the screen. That's what allowed the Foresters to score their first run of the ball game. Ended up being the winning run. Here a little deja vu as Galloway takes the fastball inside. 3 balls and no strikes. And now Voss just a little bit out in front of home plate to try and calm down Yates. Adams now at third. Galloway a 3-0 count, looking for his first run batted in as a Blue. Yates comes set, delivers, and Galloway takes high. Second walk of the day for the USC catcher. Runners at the corners with nobody out. Zach Tellerman coming to the dish.
That's pretty big. You got runners at the corners now, especially after that free one over there to Adams reaching third. Foresters could have a meeting now.
Well, the big thing about the 10th inning, when you're the visiting team, it's hard to play for just 1 run. If you only score 1, it's easier for the team in the bottom half to bunt over the runner, hit a sacrifice fly, hit a ground ball to second, to try and tie the game, at the very least, force an 11th inning. Yesterday, the Foresters were so successful because with the bunt single, they were able to get 2 runners on. They ended up bringing both those runners home, and now the Blues with a similar chance. They've got 2 runners aboard, nobody out. So not only now will they play to at the very least, plate TJ Adams from third, they also have Jacob Galloway if they can try and score him around from first. It'll be interesting to see how the defense plays this for the Foresters. You do have a chance to turn a double play up the middle, but also the 1 run so important, I think they're keeping the infield in.
Yeah, infield in here, and this is a hitter in Tallman who has a tendency to pound it onto the ground, and they want to force that double play again here, and they'll take that 1 run. So they'll get a chance in the bottom of the 9th to add on more.
You might be able to steal second if you're Jacob Galloway with the middle in, but could be a bait move from the Foresters as a fake put goes, and that's a balk! The Foresters balk in a run, and the Blues take a lead. Zach Yates flipped to first, and there was no one covering, so he couldn't throw, and the Blues take the lead on another miscue for the Foresters.
Wow. The free ones just piling on for Santa Barbara here. What a turn of events here at Pershing Park. The Blues get on a run. They don't even got to pick up the bat at all.
Unbelievable. And now Zach Tellerman a chance to knock in another run. He takes in the dirt, and it's back to the backstop. Galloway heading to third. It's already 4-3, and the Blues get another gift.
Are we in a movie? I think we're in a movie.
It's a nightmare movie, a horror movie for the Foresters, and now they've really got to bear down. Already 1 across, and now all Tellerman needs to do is poke one into the outfield deep enough to score Galloway and give the Blues a 2-run lead. So Voss have to talk with Yates, and now the right-hander really has to bear down. The Westmont College arm has already given up the 1 run, a passed ball in this inning, a wild pitch, a balk, and the walk. And now Galloway's at third after Adams has already scored. 1 ball, no strikes, the count on Tollerman, who swings and misses at the low breaking ball. 1-1.
It's a good slider he came back with after skipping that one to the backstop.
Unbelievable turn of events here in the 10th, and the Blues trying to make it really pay with another run. Pitch to Tollerman, who takes high, 2 balls and 1 strike. On deck is Matt Massiangelo, who's been the best hitter in the Blues lineup today. He's walked, doubled, and singled. Blues have 3 chances to bring in the runner from third. 2-1. Tollerman pops it up, back off the screen, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Infield stays in for the Foresters. You've got Kendro and Flores on the left side, Horvat, Patterson on the right side, trying to cut off anything on the infield and keep Galloway from scoring. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Zach Tollerman, who's 0 for 3. The pitch, and Tollerman goes around swinging. The call by the home plate umpire is Tollerman strikes out. 1 out here in the 10th inning.
And Massiangelo get a crack at it now. Got to put one in the air here. You got the infield in. Just put one up there.
Strikeout is what you can't have. Blues had second and third, nobody out in the first inning in yesterday's contest. Didn't score after back-to-back Ks. And with all the gifts that they've been given by the Foresters here in the 10th, you feel like they need to score the second run. 1 out in a 4-3 game. Matt Massiangelo at the dish. He's 3 for 3, and he takes that pitch low. 1 ball and no strikes. A walk is not the worst thing here for the Foresters. In fact, you can maybe nibble around Massiangelo to try and set up a double play with Theo Hardy standing on deck. I'm sure the Foresters have a plan for this very moment. 1 ball, no strikes as Yates comes home. Massiangelo uncorks to right. This is going to be deep enough to score the runner Galloway from third. Making the catch in right is Ballou. He comes up throwing. Galloway coming home. The throw is high, and he's safe. A sacrifice fly from Massiangelo, who continues to be the hero, and it's 5-3 here in the 10th.
Blues add on another. This one I thought was going to go a lot deeper than it did.
I did too.
Got batted out of the air. And luckily, we got the speed over there at Galloway. He's able to get to home, and also the errant throw that allows him to score. It's hard for Nate Voss to go up there and grab it and come it down with the tag.
Ball got knocked down by the wind, and now the Blues lead it by 2. A huge second run here in extra innings against the Foresters as the Blues have scored 4 unanswered. Here's Theo Hardy, the switch-hitting shortstop, who takes that fastball on the inside corner for a strike. 0-1. Blues don't have a hit in this inning, but they've scored 2 runs. 0-1 to Hardy, and Hardy squares to bunt, lays it down foul on a little pop down the third base line. No balls and 2 strikes. If you're looking ahead, it'll be Daniel Patterson at second for the Foresters, and it will be 2, 3, 4, Kendro, Ballou, and Rogers coming up. And we would assume it's going to be Boston Warkentin to stay on the hill for the Blues. 0-2 the count on Hardy. Yates from the stretch, kicks and deals, and Hardy takes off the outside corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
That's a great leave. The pitch looked a little too close to take there.
Blues scored the first run on a balk, the second on a sacrifice fly. It's 5-3 and a 1-2 count on the shortstop from San Jose State. Hardy pinch hit a couple innings ago, and now he bounces this one foul past the first base bag. Still 1 ball and 2 strikes. Back-to-back games between the Blues and Foresters, July 3rd and 4th, go into extra innings. This time, the Blues as the visitor have scored 2 runs. Yates comes set, glove held at the belt. He kicks and fires. Hardy pops it up. Third base side in foul territory. Rogers, the left fielder, heads over. So does the third baseman, Kendro, but no one's got a play. It falls 1-2. So still a 2-strike count on Theo Hardy. Blues have taken a 2-run lead here in the top of the 10th. Everyone returns back to their defensive positions. Adams scored the first run. He was the courtesy runner at second. Tollerman, who walked open the frame, scored the second. Here's the pitch. Hardy bounces it foul past the first base bag. Still 1-2 as the shortstop from San Jose State putting up a battle. The crowd has gone definitely silent here at Pershing Park.
Yeah, throwing out to get a good at-bat here. Theo Hardy is spoiling away pitches.
This game was 3-1 in the 5th inning. Since then, the Blues have scored 4 straight. Great pitching has kept SLO in front now. 5-3 here in the 10th. Another 1-2, and Hardy takes in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes. You could hear a pin drop here in Santa Barbara as the Foresters, with the time called, retake the hill.
That happened fast, too.
Hardy back in the box. Switch hitter batting left-handed as he eats a 2-2 count. Kicks and deals. Hardy takes high. It's a 3-ball, 2-strike count. If Hardy were to reach, Jariah Lewis would come up in the 10th. The way the Blues have scored their runs today has been nothing short of unbelievable. 3 balls, 2 strikes. They look to add another here in the 10th. And Hardy laces a line drive to right field. But Lou, the right fielder, heads back towards the line and makes the catch. The Blues score 2 in the top half of the 10th, and they've got a chance, if they can hold the Foresters to 2 runs or below, to win this game in the bottom of the 10th inning. It's Boston Warkentin coming out of the pen, and it will be Kendro Baloo Rogers coming in. Bottom 10 coming up on the SLO Blues streaming network. What more could you ask for? The Blues are up by 2, the second straight extra innings game versus their CCL South rival, the Santa Barbara Foresters. It's Daniel Patterson who runs at second, and we're getting Eamon Lance, a pinch hitter for Jake Kendro, here to lead off the bottom half of the 10th inning. Boston Warkentin stays on the hill. The Blues can afford to give up 1, but they can't give up 2. The Foresters need 2 to tie, 3 to win here in the 10th. And Lance, who DH'd yesterday, taken over for the Tennessee third baseman. Warkentin looks back. Patterson at second. Now comes home, and Lance takes a little inside and low. 1 ball and no strikes. Lance in yesterday's game had 1 walk. Other than that, he was 0 for 3 with 1 strikeout.
Coming off a crazy year at Santa Clara as well.
1-0 on the way. Lance takes in the dirt. 2 balls and no strikes. Warkentin has really bared down across these last 2 innings for the Blues. Worked a 1-2-3 ninth to get the Blues to extra innings, as well as an 8th where he came in and helped the Blues get to this point. Swing by Lance and a pop-up foul for the first strike of the at-bat. 2-1. Since he came in from the pen, Warkentin has picked up 3 strikeouts, given up just 1 hit. Did walk and hit a batter in the 8th. And now trying to bear down here in the bottom of the 10th inning. Patterson at second, nobody out, a 2-1 count. Here's the pitch, and Lance takes strike 2. Fastball in the outside corner, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
That was spotted up right there on that fastball.
The sun creating silhouettes on the trees in left. Bright sunlight here at Pershing Park. 4th of July.
Silhouettes on the field, too.
2-2 on the way. Lance bounces it to third. In comes Darcy. It's off his glove. He comes up, and his throw is still in time. Patterson has to stay at the bag at second. And they're calling, is Lance safe or out at first? I think Lance, they called him out. The Blues thought they might have called him safe, but the first out in the inning on the bounce out from Lance, and it's a non-productive out as Patterson stays at second Every batter that comes up in this inning is going to be the tying run. Here it's Max Ballou, the right fielder from Texas.
It's a great job by Cody Darcy staying with that ball, and it's a good thing he kept it in front of him as well. Didn't have a reaction, just went up and picked it and threw it.
First pitch to Ballou is in the dirt. 1 ball and no strikes on the reigning CCL South hitter of the week. Ballou today had a sacrifice fly in the first to knock in the first run. Since then, he struck out twice and walked. He could tie this game up with 1 swing. Big power hitter. And Ballou takes strike 1 on the outside corner with a fastball, 1-1. Blues trying to even up this series, win the 4th game against the Foresters. Santa Barbara's won 2 of the first 3, including a win in the 10th inning at Sinsheimer Stadium last night. 1-1. And a swing and a tapper towards first base. Warkentin off the mound, collects, throws, and they got him at first. Patterson moves up to third, but 2 outs in the inning as Ballou bounces out, and the batter will be Will Rogers. Last chance for the Foresters.
That's another big out there for San Luis Obispo. You do get Patterson moving over to third, but to get 2 outs in the first 2 batters for Warkentin's pretty big.
So Will Rogers coming to the plate. Tying run at the dish. Patterson, the runner at third, does not matter. The Foresters need 2 to tie, 3 to win. And Rogers, who's popped out, lined out, walked, and struck out, 0 for 3, comes to the dish and takes a little bit low with the first pitch fastball. 1 ball and no strikes.
If Rogers were to reach or to do anything here, he'd have to run up. They'd have to run up there Ryan Black. Looked like he's going to be a pinch hitter up there. Right on left matchup.
1-0, and that's towering to right. Over moves Mastiangelo. He ranges towards the line, and he makes the catch. The Blues steal Game 2 in the 10th inning from the Foresters and win it 5-3. On the 4th of July, the Blues come up with a win in their 4th game against the Foresters. It's 5-3 as they roll into Pershing Park and win a thriller.
What a great win for San Luis Obispo there. They really needed that one, especially after the heartbreaker last night in front of the home crowd, in front of the firework night. They now flip around, drive an hour and a half south to Pershing Park, and they win at away. And it's a good thing they just flipped the script and kind of did exactly what Santa Barbara did last night. So that's got to feel good for San Luis Obispo. Happy bus ride back.
This was the most resilient that we have seen the Blues all year. They trailed early, they trailed often. It was a 3-1 game in the 5th, but then 4 unanswered runs rattled off by the Blues to absolutely steal this game away from Santa Barbara. A 5-3 final as the Blues get their biggest win of the summer.
Yeah, that's a great point you just said there, Jack. That's their 2nd comeback win of the year. It's something they haven't necessarily been good at so far this summer, but to come back and do it against a team like this, the number 1 team in the CCL South, it's a good sign for the Blues.
First comeback win of league play for San Luis Obispo as the Blues improve to 6-8, and the Foresters, after dropping Game 2, are now 11-5. These 2 teams will reconvene on Thursday for what will be the rubber match of the series, and these 2 CCL South rivals have left no stone unturned through the first 2 games. Back-to-back extra inning contests, and this time the Blues take the second one. For Nate Mills, I'm Jack Smith. We're going to step away on the SLO Blues streaming network. We'll be back in action here from Pershing Park on Thursday, and we'll see you there.